Zaslow, I need some details on this dream that you had last night. I need you to put us inside of your sleep, please.
I had a good dream. I think it was a good dream. Do you remember your dreams, Greg?
Rarely.
Yeah, Well, I guess if you don't remember your dream, you wouldn't know. Anyway, I remember my dreams. And last night I had a dream that I was doing, a regular shift on ESPN Radio. I was doing radio, and I had a new co-host. My co-host was Giannis Antetokounmpo.
So your sleep is being interrupted by your amount of work. You're working a lot. You're working day and night. You're working on weekends.
You know why? Wives, they love something.
You also like money as well. I think that's part of it. I don't think it's just your wife that likes
yeah,
money.
me too.
I think you also like money.
So he replaced Amber.
So, yeah, and it's not like we weren't together. I was broadcasting where I was, like from my home, and he was broadcasting wherever he was. We were not in the same.
So
Guest
you were on
co-host.
Zoom. You were on Zoom.
Yeah.
Giannis was on Zoom.
COVID radio.
And what do you remember the subject matter that you were tackling?
Yeah, we talked about a bunch of things. It was like a regular show, And but I do remember when we were talking about football, it was not his strong suit.
Realistic.
He was not strong on the NFL.
So do you remember you were throwing him questions?
Yeah.
He was in Milwaukee, and you're throwing him questions about the Packers, or like what was happening there?
We were talking, maybe like probably Monday Night Football, because that's what I was last watching before I went to bed last night, So we're probably talking about that game, talking about the Dolphins. Boy, Tua shit. But Giannis, he was...
Was that his take or yours?
No, that's mine. You better believe that. And we were talking about everything. But then I woke up at one point. I think it was probably when I woke up this morning when my alarm went off, and I thought to myself, like, damn, I wanted to see where that was going. Like we were in the middle of a good conversation on the air, and I didn't get to finish the dream.
Was that a second job for him? Like, did you ask him, why are you in the studio talking to me?
No.
It was realistic, Greg. He was imagining that it was a co-host of his, and he was just doing a regular show.
Yeah, it seemed normal to me.
But do you recall,
Really?
God, I'm really carrying him right now. He doesn't know anything on football.
Yeah.
He's a lot better at basketball than he is at radio.
My co-host isn't giving me what I need here.
Yeah. And I do remember, actually, I was late to the show, all right? So we didn't get to do any show prep. We didn't do any like pre-production meeting or anything like that. And I didn't know who my co-host was until I sat down and we turned the show. I was like, oh, I'm working with Giannis today.
Was his show called Let's Be Honest?
I like it.
That's pretty good.
That's good humor.
That's my boy.
I didn't really like it. I was just trying to support you.
Yeah.
I would have
I would have preferred the silence last for about 4 months. I would have preferred to just sit in the silence instead of you yes-anding the idea that the name of the show
improv.
would be Let's Be Giannis.
I'm a glue guy.
It's just, we could have sat in that silence and made everybody wonder whether or not we'd gone off the air, whether the power had gone out, and it would have just been Chris sitting and stewing in his own diarrhea. Instead, you rush in to support him, but not well. I like it. Isn't much in the way of support. It's just filling the silence with 3 syllables.
I'll be honest. I could have been better.
Winners on face off, now the time is here. Mix them up and you're changing on the fly. Hit checks, head trips are gonna make them cheer. Got the ball turned to chirp and riding high. Now it's time for action. Tonight's gonna burn this ball right up. Slap shot will light the lamp so nice. Let's go for a breakaway on the chase to raise the cup. We'll be standing on our heads till we meet them at center ice. Hockey is back, Jack. Hockey is back, Jack. Hockey is back, Jack. Baby, and we'll meet you at center ice.
I had something happen to me yesterday during that Dolphin game that has legitimately never happened to me before in the history of covering the Dolphins. When Tua slid in front of the first down, didn't get the first down, needed a yard, got half a yard, and then they had to punt. The next 10 years of football flashed before me because when he wasn't athletic enough to get a first down that required half a yard, I thought to myself, at least Drake May and Josh Allen aren't at the top of the division with their athleticism. It's legitimately never happened to me before where I'm watching something, I'm like, oh my God, that is not good enough for whatever evolves in this sport. Never mind the division. Whatever evolves in the sport, he's run 20 times this season. He's got 1 first down. Barry Jackson had that stat last night. To run 20 times means you have a quarterback who cannot get you out of trouble under any circumstances while in a division with quarterbacks who are wildly athletic that you're going to have a hard time catching up to if the sport changes much more. The game last night was frustrating to watch for a number of reasons, not just because the Dolphins lost. I am so tired of nobody throwing it down the field, like just throwing it to tight ends, throwing it to running backs. But how does Aaron Rodgers at 41 look more athletic than Tua?
Because he is.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Most quarterbacks
Took him
are.
out for sneaks, dude.
The thing that they did with Aaron Rodgers that was funny, trying to build the mythology around him, because I was frustrated by that game, the number of tush pushes, 3rd and 1, push your way twice with a 311-pound tight end to get a yard, just waste my time, waste the season. And the watching of this season has been a waste of time to anybody who cares about football in South Florida. But the way they tried to frame Aaron Rodgers, the wording that they used, Aaron Rodgers is standing 10 feet behind the line of scrimmage. He's got nothing to do with the play. He's watching it the way the rest of us are, and they say, there's Aaron Rodgers doing his thing.
It was great.
What do you mean that's him doing his thing? He's just standing there watching. He's a spectator like the rest of us. They also, one time that he did it, called him a gunslinger. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's throwing 50 times to Gainwell and his 10 tight ends.
And the best part of that was his hands were in his pockets, staying warm. So had there been a fumble right in front of them, his hands.
Well, he's
were in
only
his
got
pocket.
one good hand. He can't even do anything with the other one.
There was
Yeah.
a sequence in which there was a small button hook route that would have been a first down, and Aaron Rodgers short hopped it moments after screaming at the sideline about how they got the play. And I was like, there's Aaron Rodgers doing his thing.
How much do you guys love Darnell Washington? It took 6.
He's electric.
It took 6 Dolphins to bring him
That's
down.
crazy.
He's still listed as 267. They put him at 267. He's 50 pounds heavier
He's
than
3
that.
bills easy. Is how bad that game was. I was just watching him a lot, and let me tell you, Adam Thielen, masterclass in wide receiver blocking. It was unbelievable.
Would you agree with me that the best number for a big giant guy to wear is number 80? That you've got 2 round numbers and it fits on a 311-pound person better than any other number. Maybe double zeros would be better, but the number 80.
69 slaps.
One would be funny.
Can't do 80. It's a wide receiver number in my mind. It's just Jerry Rice. I can't get it out of my mind.
Best 80 for the Dolphins? Irving Fryer.
Farrell Edmonds.
Wasn't Joe Rose number 80?
Big
I think
dog.
he was
I think he was,
84.
actually.
Was he 84?
I think he was 8. No, I thought he was 80.
It's good.
I think Zaz might have this right. Can you look this up for me? I can't remember. I'm terrible at this. I'm really bad at uniform numbers, but I think of Joe
Famous
Rose.
number 80.
He was number 80?
Oh.
Wow, you really insulted Joe Rose by going to Irving Fryer and anybody else other than Joe Rose.
Irving Fryer was so good with the Dolphins. What are you talking
Joe
about?
Rose is
For
an
2 years.
institution. If I said Irving Fryer, legend locally or not a legend?
No, not a legend.
Not a Dolphin legend?
Not a Dolphin.
Joe Rose is a legend.
Is
Yeah.
Irving
Yeah,
Fryer-
but Joe Rose is a legend because of his radio
yeah,
career.
Irving
Right.
Fryer was much better on the football field for the Miami Dolphins than Joe Rose was.
I think Joe Rose's greatest season was about 350 yards at tight end.
Irving Fryer was pretty good for that day and age.
He was very good
Yeah,
for the Dolphins.
if he's not a legend, he's a luminary.
Not for long, though. What, 2-3 years at most?
Yeah.
345 yards for the big dog.
But Zaslow has said that he's a legend and that Irving Fryer is not a legend. And so
Gotta be
if
fair.
someone's a legend and wore number 80, then he is the most legendary number 80.
No. He's not wearing number 80 leaning into a mic. He's better at
point.
radio than he was at football.
Good point.
Irving Fryer had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. That's pretty good.
He had a couple of seasons with a lot of touchdowns too, didn't he? Didn't he have one season? I remember
his first year with the Dolphins. That was awesome.
Guys, Brian Hartline had a couple 1,000-yard seasons.
A different era.
In 93, he had 1,010 yards and 5 touchdowns. In 94, he had 1,270 yards and 7 touchdowns. And then in his third season with the Dolphins in 95, it was 910 yards but 8 touchdowns before going to Philadelphia, where he caught 11 touchdowns the following season.
Fred Barnett trade.
3 seasons, not a legend.
Chris, are you aware of where Brian Hartline is now? You are aware.
Follow the news, Dano.
Better coach than player. Easily, right? We can
Better
all agree?
recruiter? I don't think we know about coach yet. We know he's a good recruiter.
He's coaching him up.
But you want to share with the audience the whereabouts?
South
of
Florida.
Brian
A Bull.
Hartline.
Dan's beloved USF Bulls. Loves everything that's in Tampa.
Don't they play? They play tomorrow, don't they? Doesn't South Florida? Is the bowl season's about to kick off? Is it not?
Yes, it is.
I saw that the coach, the interim coach for Michigan, said that the players feel betrayed by the Sharon Moore story. He was quoted at the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl, and I learned his name then. It's a terrible name, Biff Poggi.
Have you seen what he looks like?
Oh, you know about Biff. Google him.
Have you
You've
seen what he
this
looks
guy
like?
Before.
Biff Poggi.
Yeah, you've
Making up
seen this guy
names.
before.
At Le Batard Show, can you be great athletically, or can you be a champion athletically if your name is Biff with 2 Fs at Le Batard Show? So let's talk about the end of this Dolphin season and the problem of architecture that they have, because if you cut Tua today, it will hurt you just as much as if you keep him all of next season against the salary cap. It's the same amount.
This is such an easy decision. I don't understand why this is a thing where it's, if you cut Tua, it's $56 million. If you cut him, it's the same amount of money if you keep him. Great. If you have a bad player and it costs you the same amount of money to have a bad player on your team as it would to not have a bad player on your team, wouldn't you always pick to not have the bad player?
Not if you're in transition next year and it's a bad quarterback class this year.
Yes.
It's a bad quarterback class. Your solution next year won't be better than Tua. It's not saying much. Just
get whatever veteran off the scrap heap for $10 million.
Okay,
Really?
you want
Rivers.
You want Minshew?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
Come on.
Phillip Rivers. Do me the favor, Jeremy. I don't know the backstory. I have heard over my life the phrase "old man river." I don't know where it comes from. I don't know anything about it other than a phrase. Does anyone here know the phrase "old man river"?
I know it was a famous song. I don't know the origin of the phrase. Maybe the song popularized the phrase.
Please find out for me, because Phillip Rivers, obviously a ridiculous selection. And Zaz, I think you're being sports radio short-sighted. Any veteran is better, as if you could just go get Kirk Cousins and feel better about your bandage next year than the one you presently have to pay anyway.
Greg Cody is right.
Yeah.
From the musical Showboat, with music by Jerome Kern and lyrics by Oscar Hammerstein II.
Dan, how can you expect to ask fans to pay their hard-earned money to come to games next year, and you continue to throw Tua out there? That's why you get rid of him.
Sure, Zaz.
And just pick someone up off the street.
Okay, but when he's decent, he's decent.
Yes.
Right? Like, that's
Thank
the
you.
issue. Okay, yes, his peaks are very, very low. But his what he can do when everything is clicking got him best completion percentage in the league.
He's
passing
not that
leader.
quarterback anymore,
isn't.
though.
He isn't,
He's
dude.
not that guy.
Just
This is a different player.
As an independent, every time that guy dropped back, it was a disaster, and it would fool box scores too. Because if you see the stats, you're wondering. I fell asleep during that game. I thought the quarterback play was so poor on both sides. I actually left that game thinking Phillip Rivers is better than both these
He had
guys.
60 yards in the third
Every
quarter.
time that dude dropped back, you were fearful of a disaster.
He was sacked a bunch of times last night, but the IQ is so low now.
Mm-hmm.
The decision making is so unbelievably low.
It's fair to question what's happened to his brain.
You know,
fair.
it's like there was a play yesterday late in the game, right, where Aaron Rodgers, and granted, Aaron Rodgers is probably one of the smartest quarterbacks to ever play the game, but there was a play where Aaron Rodgers, instead of throwing the ball away as he was about to be sacked, he decided to fall down so that the clock would keep running.
Literally cost me my fantasy season. We don't have to get into that.
Because, hey, this is a good thing to even take the sack but have the clock running. And the possession right before that, when the Dolphins are trying to conserve time, which, I mean, maybe they didn't really know that because they were huddling, but you would want to conserve time. And Tua, he's rolling out, and instead of throwing the ball away to stop the clock, he takes a sack.
Let's be honest. He's done. He's done.
This isn't like, hey, you think Tua's good over here. I think Tua stinks over here. This is not the same player the previous 5 years.
So Zaslow last night on Twitter says we're watching the worst starting quarterback in the entire league. Get rid of this guy. He's completely cooked as an NFL quarterback. Here are some stats. He's 0-6 in temperatures below 40 degrees. He's 3-12 in his last 15 games against winning teams, 3-12. And in 7 of those, half those games, he hasn't gotten to 20 points. And as Tony mentioned, the stats at the end of the third quarter, 6 for 10, 65 yards, 1 interception. And the interception was him trying to throw the ball down the field and just a terrible throw.
It was a bad throw.
Bad decision and a bad throw, and it fluttered. It seemed like his arm strength was affected by whatever the cold was. Like the ball started waffling as if you were skeet shooting and it just hit a quail. Like the ball just didn't go anywhere and was easy to pick off. And now he leads the league in interceptions with 15.
And here's one more. All 15 of his interceptions have been against zone defenses. That's a big problem because when you see that stat, you throw a zone defense at him. But
and to add to that right there, like I'm not some football expert, but to me that feels like that's a QB who doesn't know what he's seeing then.
Okay.
If it's right? Am I right about that?
Well, they kept giving that stat last night. I did not know that stat before last night, and they kept giving the stat last night. I will also add to this, Jalen Waddle is a number 1 draft pick. Like, there have to be ways to get a number 1 wide receiver more than 2 catches in a game, unless by design you're so scared of your quarterback throwing the ball down the field that you're just going to throw to Achane, and then spend the fourth quarter throwing to Waller. But Waddle, the amount of investment that you made in Waddle, both financially and where it is that you selected him, if he's not a bust, he's pretty close to it for where it is that you drafted him. I know he had trade value, and I know they didn't want to trade him. But in the present confines of what they're doing, Jalen Waddle is not someone you can trust to be any kind of game breaker. First of all, he drops the ball too much. But a number 1 receiver, show me all the number 1 receivers in the league who go 2 catches for 20 yards. Any time.
A.J. Brown, yeah.
Yeah, he's had 3 straight 100-yard games.
I know, it happens, and we're getting to the point with Waddle, where Waddle's kind of impressed me a little bit this season. I know he does a thing where he pulls himself out of games, but it's gotten to the point with Waddle where how am I supposed to evaluate this guy fairly with this quarterback who is so dreadful?
I just hate that we're all judging Tua based on this one terrible season. If in the next 3 games he looks better than he has all season, that counts too.
Oh, but why would that?
Yes,
why
I
is
agree.
that going to happen?
No, if he looks like the
you're
best
right,
quarterback
but
in the league for his next 3 starts, I'd be like, hold on a minute.
Why would you think that's going to happen?
Because that's what he's playing for right now. See, Tua has become the underdog, the long shot. If you like that kind of a story, all of a sudden Tua is your guy because you're rooting for him. I don't disagree.
That's fantasy land.
I don't disagree that he's had a terrible season. It's his worst season of his NFL
Greg,
career.
you've got to give up on him. You think this is correctable? You think the things that he's talking about, where Mike's saying it's fair to question his brain, Zaz is saying that you simply cannot trust him. He's the worst quarterback in the league, and you're pointing out that he's thrown 15 interceptions more than anyone in the league, all against zone, which require decision making.
Right. No, I'm not excusing this season. I'm not.
You're saying it's fixable, and I don't think anyone thinks that.
Well, what I'm saying is, and I wrote this in my column in the Herald, I've been one of his biggest supporters. Okay, and he's losing me.
I have two, by the way.
That's how bad he's
I
been.
have also. I
Okay.
have been one of his biggest
Right.
supporters.
He's lost all his supporters. Joe Rose was supporting him all at the start of the
What do
season.
you support? He's
Everyone is out
terrible.
on him. I don't know anyone still defending him at all.
I saw a stat during the game that the Dolphins, the last 16 third and 10s, have completed 0. Okay, they've had 0 conversions of third down and 10 or more in 16 tries.
Right.
That's insane.
Well, that was the problem in the first half. That's why they're down 28-3 or whatever the score was, because they couldn't make a third down, and that's on Tua, right? He had a terrible game, and the fourth quarter inflated his stats and his rating and made it seem statistically like he wasn't the problem.
Greg,
He was the problem.
I know that this is somewhat redundant that we've done this, but I will tell you the last time I saw something in my own opinion making that feels like what you're presently doing with Tua and have been doing it all season. When Wannstedt, the first couple of seasons, was 11-5 and 10-6, I'm like, you can't fire that. You can't fire 11-5 and 10-6. You can't. Everybody was howling about it. Then 4-12, they don't have a quarterback, and I'm too late. I didn't have any vision whatsoever. You sitting here holding on to Tua, and frankly, the Dolphins sitting here holding on to Tua gets in the way of anything in the way of progress if you think this is fixable. This is not fixable. Like he cannot do anything
There,
other than
just stop right there.
other than throw the ball sideways and behind the line of scrimmage.
Right.
It's
no mobility, no arm, no situational
That's a
awareness.
bad problem, the mobility
Yes,
thing.
it is.
That's
All
terrible.
of it.
No vision.
No, I'm not excusing
What are you doing?
the season he's had. I'm saying Tua next season versus what is the alternative? Zach Wilson? No thanks.
No,
I don't think so.
The alternative's moving on. That's the
It's
alternative.
just it's just closing the book there. It's not a great quarterback draft class, but there are going to be some quarterbacks available.
Right.
Make a move.
And by the way, please laugh more on the sideline with the camera on you, down 28-9. Please chuckle it up. You know what? The only thing missing when he was laughing on the sideline there, down 28-9, give him a microphone so he could yell to everyone, "Show me the money." Laugh some more.
Are we sure he's not like sobbing?
I watched the play. Somebody must have said something hysterical to him. Laugh it up, Tua.
You can be screaming in pain, maybe, like giving a nice little war cry for the teams as.
Greg Cody seems to be making the argument that this is fixable, that this is redeemable, that this is a blip, that it's a bad season, that it's an aberration.
Yeah, I would not write him off at this moment. Okay, but I would also say he has a lot of proving to do in his 6th year, which is terrible. I remember when Ryan Tannehill was in his 7th season, and the narrative around him was, is he good enough? Is he the guy? And you don't want to be saying that in the 6th or 7th season, and we're doing it again with Tua.
Actually, you're the only one doing it. Everyone's out on him. Tannehill, actually,
Okay.
we were still having the conversation 6 and 7
Right, it
seasons
was actually
in.
worse with Tannehill because we didn't know.
We were still wondering
Where's he?
6
Bring
or
him
7
over.
seasons in. This is crazy to think about. The idea that you're talking about the entirety of the 2000s so far, we're sitting here arguing about, well, maybe it's A.J. Feely. Like we're arguing for 25 years about do the Dolphins have a quarterback, and
Right.
the answer, except for one season, is no.
I want to play devil's advocate for Greg. The argument for keeping Tua is working with him, seeing if he can recapture some of that form, because it is pretty much a quarterback wasteland in terms of who's available. You have Daniel Jones coming off an Achilles injury is the best name. You have Sam Howell, who's played some starting quarterback in the league. In terms of trade targets, Kyler Murray is your best option over
Guy's
there.
a bum,
It's
too.
not
Jacoby
it's
Brissett
not
came off the
great.
couch, Mike, and they
Well,
have
Jacoby Brissett, if he were available, let's go.
He was on the
Brissett is
team.
So much better than
He was on the
Tua.
team
We've
a couple
done
years
that,
ago.
guys.
Again, with
Literally
Brissett?
done that.
Yeah.
And he wasn't better than
No,
Tua.
he wasn't better than that to us.
Right.
He's certainly better than this.
Right.
To us.
The thing that is also concerning to me, because you guys have heard me for practically 25 years say I don't understand how it is that the Dolphins keep drafting offensive linemen and can never block anybody. He did get sacked 4 times last night, but that offensive line hasn't been something I've been complaining about all
Paul.
year
They've
in
been
terms
fine.
of
They've been better.
protecting him.
Much better.
But
Paul's good.
Yeah.
He's holding the ball,
sacks are on
though.
him.
He's holding the ball, Greg, and
Right.
and it's not because at some point in the last couple of years, I would have blamed the offensive line for some of what was happening to him. I can't do that this
Right.
year.
Yeah. The defense, which had been much better lately,
They were good last night.
They had a horrific second half, though.
They were always on the field.
They couldn't. They missed more tackles last night than I've seen them miss all season.
Here's the thing that we're doing today and this season that we hadn't done until now. If I'm not blaming the offensive line, and he's got the support of a running game, because he does. Like Achane rushes the ball. He's got running game support. Then your problem is the quarterback. That the problem on your offense is your highest paid player.
Right.
I mean, that's an architectural flaw that can't be overcome.
No, it has been this season. I mean, Pittsburgh was scheming to take away Achane and force the game into Tua's hands, and rightly so, because Tua didn't do anything with it. He's had a terrible season. Is this the end of his Dolphins career? Probably. But for me, I think he's got 3 more games and next season, and then that's it.
Considering what the coach did with Tua when he got here, wouldn't you be slightly interested to see what the coach can do with another quarterback? I would.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, of course. Yeah, of course. But Tua, everybody's going to groan. Tua did make a Pro Bowl. Like, we have seen good Tua. Okay, we haven't seen 6 years of abject failure. We have seen Tua when he's pretty good, and I'm just not ready to write him off. Now, if you read the column I wrote, you're not gonna get the idea that I'm forgiving his good season and I think all is well. It was probably the most critical column I've written about Tua, because I've been, and you too, I think I've been Tua's biggest supporter, and he's losing me. Like, I get the narrative that we got to give up on this guy, everybody calling him a bum, the worst quarterback in the league. It isn't true, but maybe this season it is.
All right, let me again though do what it is that I did over a half yard that I can do over the next 10 years, okay? When Tua's last 9 games, and many of them have been wins, like they were winning in a way that made Rex Ryan go on television yesterday and say, "Hey, nerd boy, you turned it around. Congratulations. Hats off to you."
Term of endearment now.
Not over the last 9 games, Tua is 10 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. Now, the 11 interceptions are problematic enough, but I would also say when Josh Allen is putting up 4 touchdowns a game, 9 games with 10 touchdowns is also the same kind of problematic. It's not even like you're getting the turnovers and the plays. You're getting an equal number of turnovers to touchdowns, which makes you Jay Fiedler. That's what that makes you if you're going to be in the modern. And it's not even Jay Fiedler.
Yeah, he's not as good as Jay Fiedler.
It's not even Jay Fiedler during an age that was different. It's during this age. Actually, during Jay Fiedler's age, you could be a quarterback who had as many touchdowns as interceptions. Now nobody turns the ball over, but when you're playing against Drake May and Josh Allen in your division, and that's what you're going up against it with, like we have to acknowledge that everything that happened with Tua leading the league in passing, Tyreek Hill was that. That's the reason that all of that happened. Like, you take Tyreek Hill out, and you've got a totally pedestrian quarterback.
Okay.
It was also the system that kept everything decisive, right? That's when Tua was at his best. Decisive. One step, throw. One step, throw. Tyreek, yak. Waddle, yak. Achane, yak. Now you take Tyreek out. Waddle can't do anything. Waller has been decent when he's been on the field, but you're going to give the ball to Achane 40 times a game. You're going to kill him.
Of course you miss Tyreek, and so did Patrick Mahomes, by the way, and still does. But, look, if you're judging Tua solely by this season, I have no rebuttal because he's been awful. He's been terrible this season. There's no excuse for it. I'm not equivocating it. I think he's better than he's shown this season. I think he's young enough not to give up on his future. He's got a ton to prove. I'm giving him 3 games. He's got next season because they don't have a great alternative to him next season beyond the financial aspect. And so that's the only place I differ. Everybody else is saying he stinks. He's the worst. No, he's not. Give him 1 more season.
I think what's fooling you is what we're seeing right now with Tua, with a 27-year-old quarterback. is normally what we wind up seeing with the 37-year-old quarterback. Because if you were 37, you wouldn't be saying he's just having a bad year.
Right.
Maybe he'll bounce back. You'd be like, no, this is the end. He's cooked. And I think that's the confusing part for you, because he's only 27, but I believe that is the case, that his career is ending now after just 6 years instead of being in the league for like 12 years.
Okay, you may be right, but I'm not confused about anything. I know exactly how old he is.
Talking to the mic.
I know exactly how old he is.
But we've never seen this before, a quarterback at 27 looking like he's 37 is what I'm trying to say.
You've seen plenty of quarterbacks have bad seasons in their prime. It happens. It happens. The problem with Tua is that he doesn't have another part of his game to make up for it, right? No, I totally agree with that. And part of that is you're worried about, oh, my God, I hope Tua doesn't get another concussion because that'll retire him. Well, what he's doing is playing a game to avoid concussions.
Oh, he looks scared out there.
Well, and that's a real problem, man. When he's running and has to pick up 2 yards for a first down, what are the odds against that?
And the field's open in front of him, and you see that he looks like he's running in molasses. What do you make of this Jalen Ramsey sound? Jalen Ramsey traded to the Steelers on the field. This is Jalen Ramsey. He's talking about Tua, right?
After a big play, looking at the camera about like going off the field, he's weak as just mean. I'm as out on Tua as anybody. I didn't like that.
You're the one playing it.
I want to turn your attention to examples like Carson Wentz and Robert Griffin III, quarterbacks that had it cooking for a little bit, both an MVP consideration, and then injury changed their careers. Carson Wentz has fought like hell to stay in the league. Robert Griffin III pushed out of the league. Injuries caused that. Injuries might be causing this one. Mm-hmm. It's just not one that you can see. He's not this guy that leaned on his athleticism like RG3, or it's not an elbow injury the way that it was with Carson Wentz. It's between the ears.
He's an avatar for our lack of understanding of brain chemistry and brain injuries in that sport, because I don't know how to discuss responsibly that his brain is scrambled, but if you had to hypothetically come up with a performance that would look like what the hell happened, it would look a lot numerically and in play, Greg, like what it is that we're watching, where you can play zone defense against him. Zone doesn't work against anybody in that league who's any good at quarterback.
I mean, he has varying levels, but it's not. Look, he's faced zone in his career and hadn't had these types of issues.
15 interceptions in today's league, like whatever it is you guys think of inflation in the economy, him having more interceptions than Geno Smith. Look, give me the stat of the day for a second. Give me the stat of the day music so I can tell you what it is that Kenny Pickett was doing on Sunday against the Eagles. This is who you want, Kenny Pickett.
Start of the day, start of the day. It is here, start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. This year, start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. This year, start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. This year, start of the day.
Stat of the day is presented by Amazon Prime Video. Thursday Night Football is on. This week, Los Angeles Rams take on the Seattle Seahawks. Coverage begins Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Prime Video.
That's a good one.
Speaking of the Seahawks.
Can I give the stat of the day?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
'cause, we got a sponsored segment here with
Sure.
the introduction and all of that
Good.
stuff.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Tell us what you wanted to about the Seahawks. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to just mention as an aside that Sam Darnold has more turnovers this season than Tua. The reason you never hear about it is that Sam Darnold is surrounded by a great team, and so his faults are not exposed under a microscope like Tua's are. That's all.
And also, Seattle is great, and so is their offense.
That's what I just said. Thank you.
Well, I mean, but
I just said he's surrounded by a better team
You get some
than
of the,
Tua.
you get some of the pluses with Sam Darnold. What's the stat?
The stat is that the Raiders had 75 yards of total offense against the Eagles. That is the lowest number the Eagles have ever held an opponent to. It's the second lowest total the Raiders have ever had in a game. The 75 yards, 9 teams have had a player do that on a single play this season. on a single play. The Raiders going pick it to lock it, which I like poetically. Pick it to lock it. They didn't do anything. The fact that Geno Smith has fewer turnovers than Tua when that team offensively has not only been a disaster, it's been a disaster that makes me wonder what the American media was doing, thinking Tom Brady was cheating by wearing a headset to help the Raiders offense. Like, we all yelled about that. He wasn't helping, isn't helping at all. Neither was Chip Kelly. And what it is that Tua has done in terms of turnovers in an offense designed, by the way, Greg, this is the thing about the 15 turnovers that's most alarming. It's all designed so that he doesn't turn the ball over. Like, the only time he's turning it over is when he dares to go down the field. It's not like any of these screen passes are ending up in the turnovers. Like, they're trying to hide their quarterback. You can't do that in the NFL.
Like I say, I have no excuse for the season he's having.
Tua threw the ball away on the 2-point conversion attempt.
Yeah, like he airmailed it.
Why would you throw it away on a
can return
2-point
that.
conversion?
I can return that. That's 2
Did
big
just
points.
have a pick too.
That never happens.
I do think it's curious, and I know they have access to grind, and I know they're outspoken. Hell, one of them retired after playing the Dolphins. But Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey, those are guys that went up against Tua in practice often, and they don't seem to have the greatest things to say about them. And, I mean, what Xavier Howard said, you take away the primary read, he's done.
Yeah.
Xavier Howard, the same
I
Xavier
think he said
Howard.
something about Tua panicking, right?
Yeah, the same Xavier Howard that decided, I can't play anymore. He had a pretty good game against the Dolphins week 1 because he knew he was going up against Tua. It is just curious. They're former teammates.
I hate watching him. I do. I hate it. I hate watching him play
Everybody
football.
does this season.
You're pretty alone here.
I know.
And you've been alone all season on it. You're
I'm
like
Mr. Lonely.
I feel like he's sitting on the fence,
no,
if you
but-
ask me.
Really?
Fence sitter.
You just wanted to play that sound. That is absolutely not fencing.
And he's like, I see why everyone's criticizing him, but I'm not. It's like this. What do you like? You're. I'll do it again.
Fence sitter.
Okay, they
Have an opinion.
have an opinion. The easiest thing in the world is to, in the middle of the season he's having, to say, Tua stinks. He's the worst quarterback in the league. Let's get rid of him.
You're
He's
zagging?
done. He's spent.
He's zazzing.
I mean, that's the easy opinion, is to say Tua sucks.
It's also easy to talk into the mic, but we don't all do it.
Closer to, that's a fair point. Closer to a pragmatic view is that at age 27, I'm not willing to give up on this guy entirely, particularly when I look at their economic situation and who's better next season. Give him 3 more games, give him next season, and then make a move. And the Dolphins have shown, by the way, in that 4-game win streak in 5 out of 6, they've shown that when you have HN running and a better defense, you can win games. It's
No,
not
they just
all
played
about
bad
Tua.
teams. They just played bad teams,
They were
Greg.
really bad
Come on,
teams.
I gave you the stats, Greg. The last 15 times they played good teams with a winning record, they've lost 12 of them. He's 0-6 in 40-degree temperatures. What do you think you're going to get on the road in December when you have to go on the road? You're going to get those flutter balls that he was throwing last night whenever he dared to go down the field. It's weird to me that I have just felt over the course of this hour and this season, Chris, what your mom feels like married to your dad. He's just stubborn he's just stubborn.
I am stubborn. I'll give you that.
But that's all you're doing. You're just sitting here saying, well, I've still got a chance to be right. Let's just give him 20 more games.
And I acknowledge what everyone sees, and I see it too, but
I know he's terrible, but maybe he'll stop being terrible.
I know he's in the middle of the worst season of his career. Whether we're writing him off because of that is where we all differ. I'm not writing him off.
Guys,
At age 27, come on.
Guys, I'm very excited to announce I've been moving stuff out of the house and trying to find stuff and whatever. Look what I found. The Things to Ponder file. Zaz, you know about this?
No.
Oh, buddy. It's things that you want to ponder. You put it in the file. You take it out. You ponder them.
He's moving homes, and you locate a bunch of things that you haven't seen in a while. I think that's pandemic era. I think that
Close
file
to it.
that file is 4 years old. Where did you find it? Where was it?
It was underneath like a book somewhere, like in an attic. But the
books-
question du
Those books be
jour.
hiding things.
This was 3 years ago. Baker at 20 million or Tua at 55 million. That's something that we were asking a couple of years ago. Just putting that out there.
I'm not positive you didn't write that last night, but go ahead.
Whoa!
Why would I do
You're
that?
accusing him of being counterfeit?
I mean, that takes too perfect, a little too perfect for me.
How about this? How about will Aaron Rodgers finish top 3 in MVP voting? Is that carbon dated enough for you?
With what team?
It doesn't matter. Who cares?
He would have been if the voting was last night.
How about this one to carbon date it? Will Bill Belichick ever coach again?
Yes.
So these are just
Unfortunately.
4-year-old things that you found in a file under a
Yes.
book. I don't believe you have either a book or an attic in your house. So I don't believe you're
Well,
being accurate
not
about
an attic. It was like a top of a closet. My bad. How about how about this?
Picturing Home Alone.
China buying U.S. farmland? Thanks to Ponder. I don't know what happened there. Who put that there? Bill Gates. How did that get there?
This does seem authentic.
It does seem like that's a little
For
bit
Tony.
dated. Can you imagine if they had Baker Mayfield right now? I imagine it would feel a little bit different, although they would still be behind Josh Allen and Drake May in their division.
Last one, Russell Wilson at 2 million or Tua at 55 million? That
That one you actually got wrong.
Russell Wilson will be available if you guys want him next
Yeah.
year.
Jeremy has
I'll take him.
Jeremy has 11 quarterbacks that will be free agents next year that he wants more
All
than
right,
Tua.
name them with fanfare. Let's go. Top 11.
All
Number
right.
11.
Well, I don't know. All right. Sam Howell.
Number 10.
Tommy DeVito.
oh, God.
Number 9.
Gardner Minshew.
Number 8.
Carson Wentz.
Number 7.
Trey Lance.
Oh,
Oof.
God.
Number 6.
Case Keenum.
Woof. Number 5.
Mitch Trubisky.
Number 4.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Number 3.
Tyrod Taylor.
Number 2.
Marcus Mariota.
Number 1.
Russell Wilson.
Wow.
This kind of proves our point.
Yeah.
Like, there's probably like 2 or 3 guys there you legitimately want more than.
You wouldn't rather have Marcus Mariota? You wouldn't rather have Joe Flacco?
No.
You wouldn't rather have Jimmy Garoppolo?
Jimmy G.
You wouldn't rather have Mitch Trubisky?
No.
I
serious?
absolutely would.
Zaz, I got
Then
one,
another year of this?
I got one more thing in the Ponder file. Zaz, I want you to ponder this one long and hard. You ready?
Don't waste my time.
That is a Viking.
Christian Ponder.
Oh, that is a Ponder.
Rather have him too.
Christian Ponder in the Ponder file.
When you're taking your shirt off and using your body as comedy, you're going.
That's Florida, bro.
You're going
That's Florida.
maximum
That's
Florida, man.
That's Florida.
When did you decide to start doing that? When was it encouraged? When did that become your signature? The idea that you're up there just throwing your body at the people here in a tight pair of jeans, shirtless.
I was. The jeans have gotten tighter the fat I've gotten. They weren't always tight. My daughter said Baby Walrus needs to move out of skinny jeans. I started doing it just to cheer myself up because you get on the road and do like a Thursday night and you'd be like, I got a whole weekend ahead of me. This is gonna be a long weekend. I'm missing my family. It's not sold out. So I would rip my shirt off and kill a beer to make myself giggle because I thought it was silly and to remind myself this should be fun. And then one night I was in Columbus, Ohio. I ripped my shirt off and killed a beer. And then something happened in the room and I forgot to put it back on. And one of the comics I respected was in the back and he was like, bro, you just did a whole hour with your shirt off.
And how does this work with comfort with your body? Because not everyone can do that. You're the first to be doing that. Not everyone is comfortable enough with their size to be in front of thousands of people shirtless like that because it is funny.
It's interesting because I have this reverse body dysmorphia. So like I heard a story, secret time. Obviously I'll tell you, but secret time. I heard a story that Chris Pratt was a fat kid growing up and that someone told me like he'll always be fat in his head. no matter how great of shape he is, he'll always think of himself as a fat kid. I was in shape as a kid, and so I do not see myself fat at all. As a matter of fact, I think in Razzle Dazzle, I look low-key jacked. I think I look better than I've ever looked. My shoulders, dude, look at my shoulders.
You are jacked. Oh, yeah. You got some cuts right there. You see it there?
I mean, I'm feeling good. I feel great about my body.
The new Netflix stand-up special, Razzle Dazzle.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Bert, stop making those
Never show
faces.
your belly button.
Yes.
Do that thing where you're
Let's increase your female viewers.
make your boobs move.
This is a body you can get.
Razzle Dazzle is the stand-up special. How old would you have to be? What is the age if I came up to you and said, Bert, you're not going to believe this, but the new movie, Machine, it's in theaters in May, and Razzle Dazzle, a Netflix special, is happening. At what point in your career, at what age would you have said, yeah, that's a possible dream?
Oh, 50? Where I am. I didn't think any of that was going to happen. Listen, I got to be dead honest with you. I shot Razzle Dazzle in November, and I'm used to the Netflix specials, but with the Machine movie, that was sitting on a shelf. They weren't doing anything with it, and they weren't going to release it. And it wasn't until I leaked it on Rogan that it got life. And so ever since it's got life, now it's got real life, and so I didn't think the movie was ever going to come out.
Dan, Bert's got me feeling confident. You know what? I'm going to join you, Bert, taking the shirt off.
Wow.
I love it. I love it.
Well, I'm going to have to do it, too.
I, too, was ripped when I was younger, Bert.
I have to do it.
Let's all be. Come on, bros.
Oh, man.
I don't really want to do
Round the
this,
horn.
but,
I did
Dude,
not.
you're looking good.
The Mano Lantern.
Thank you.
okay.
Oh, my
Dan's
God.
doing it too. Dano!
20 years. Take the
uncomfortable.
top off.
Oh, jeez.
All right, you are allowing us to be more comfortable with our physical
Okay.
appearances.
I have to take off my nipple stickers.
He's a pioneer and an icon.
Oh, look at Dano.
Mr. Nipple.
Oh,
Right there.
Perfect.
Do this
Sorry,
to
and this shirt,
everybody.
I don't know. It's like a
cold
routine.
in here.
Yeah,
It's
it
reverse
is
body
cold in
dysmorphia.
here.
It's a reverse body
It's a
dysmorphia.
really weird time for Jessica to come back
Yeah, I
into
was
the
like,
room.
Jessica,
Perfectly
do not walk in here.
Hey, Jess.
You like it, Bert? Get out.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. Why
So
are
are
you
you.
massaging?
Andrew Luck making an appearance
cold.
there. Bert.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Some stats here for Diana Rossini and by Diana Rossini. The Bills are now 4-0 this season when they allow 31 or more points. So the rest of the league is 8-70 in those circumstances. The Bills are 4-0. He is tops in the fourth quarter in quarterback stats of rushing yards, passing yards, and EPA in the fourth quarter. He's at the top of the list. No quarterback has been better in the fourth quarter. They're held together by Scotch tape, but what they've got at the quarterback position is crazy. Diana Rossini is going to join us now, but big award here for Pablo Torre. He's been named Sports Media Person of the Year by Awful Announcing. They have their annual awards. They write, when it comes to the year that was in sports media, 2025 will be remembered as the year that Pablo Torre found out perhaps no figure in sports media has managed to thread the needle of performing legitimate journalism while also adapting and embracing the reality of today's industry as deftly as Torre has. Transparently, Torre was an easy, unanimous choice for our annual Sports Media Person of the Year award, which we present to the industry's defining figure.
Wow.
Zaz, you comment on that or no? Anonymous sources on Zaz?
Whatever?
Yeah, whatever.
What do you mean, whatever? What kind? Why is there not enthusiasm for our teammate and colleague?
Yeah,
What-
no, cool.
Just everyone's bored by this.
Nice.
Ask Nick Wright what he thinks.
Who's second place?
It was unanimous.
It's
It-
you.
That's what I'm looking for.
The new Max Kellerman podcast?
It wasn't close. It wasn't. You guys are not very positive about your teammates.
No, we're saying it's so obvious.
It's like
This was
Mendoza's
his year.
Heisman. Cool. All right. He beat, Pavia by 1,000, 2,000 votes, whatever it was. All right. Cool.
Pavia doesn't think Pablo should
He's
have
my
won either.
teammate too.
That's right. At The Athletic as well. I would have
Yeah.
nominated Diana Rossini for Sports Media Personality of the Year. I would have put her in
Aw,
the discussion.
Happy birthday, Danny boy. How you
look
doing?
at that. Thank you.
Happy birthday to him. I don't care. Good luck.
At what age do you guys think that birthdays stop being happy?
Death.
Your age.
6.
57.
Each one of them, you're above the ground. Dano's a good one.
I feel like you've asked this about 6 or 7 years in a row. So about 50.
I'm thinking 50 is about the place that I would put it. She's the senior NFL insider for The Athletic, and she's the host of the Scoop City podcast. She'll be part of Netflix NFL Christmas Day doubleheader. First game is Cowboys at Commanders. She'll be in Minnesota covering Lions-Vikings for the afternoon game. Have you checked the 11-day forecast? Because I'm guessing that Minnesota is not a place you want to be during Christmas winter.
Oh, I don't mind it. It's indoors. So I'm very excited about that. I was actually just texting with someone in Minnesota right before I hopped on. What's the rough temperature indoors on a game day? And they said a nice 71, 72.
No. But wait, Diana, you got to get over there. Like, I understand that the game is not outdoors, but it's still unpleasant to be in Minnesota at anywhere outdoors.
Yeah, that's true. Do you remember the Super Bowl there? I
Yes.
do. That was probably one of the most miserable experiences in terms of dealing with just the logistics of getting from, I don't know, your hotel, which was like a few blocks from where all the action was. I remember Mina Kimes and I just huddling together to try to stay warm. It was so bad. So yeah, no, what I want to do is I want to ask a team for one of those capes. You know how the guys wear the capes
Yes.
on the sidelines?
Yeah, every time Aaron Rodgers went to the sideline, they put a cape on him.
Massive.
No, it's exactly how you would treat royalty if you had a bunch of peasants on the sidelines just taking care of the king. They just put a big giant cape on him to stay warm for the 6 seconds he's on the sidelines.
So I found out that what it is, it's this big shell poncho that teams that play in like the tropical weather, like where you guys are, like they just wear the shell over. But in the cold weather teams, obviously like Green Bay, Buffalo, New England, Pittsburgh last night, what they do is they take like the inside of a poncho, it's almost like a quilt, and they button it inside of the shell. Some of them are heated. And how about this? Some teams, I don't know if this is that interesting to you, but some teams, their coaches don't like the appearance of it because it makes them look soft, right? Like you're huddled under this big poncho looking thing. So some teams have sleeves in it so it doesn't look so cape-like. Like remember Tom Brady like snuggling with Danny Amendola years ago in New England? Aaron Rodgers last night, he wears the big cape, but some guys want the sleeves so they look tougher outside of putting Vaseline all over their exposed skin to deal with the cold weather.
Put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. Have you ever heard anyone say anything interesting after they start with, I don't know if this is interesting to you? She mentioned Mina in Minnesota. Let's get Mina from Minnesota giving us her Super Bowl analysis from a zip line.
Still with us?
This woman is one of
Brady
the
with 4 is what it sounded like.
This woman's one of the best analysts on television. She's one of the faces of ESPN, and only you guys could get her to do that. I remember her telling me she was doing that, and what was that? That had to be over 8 years ago now, right? And I remember we were just starting together at ESPN, and I was going to hop on the show too to do something a little weird. And I remember talking to her in the Mall of America going, should we do this stuff? Is this going to help us? Like, we're women in a male-dominated industry. You know, our credibility's on the line every second of the day. And I remember looking at her like, let's just do it. And she did it. And I think she turned out all right.
Yeah, she was legitimately terrified, though. She was conquering a fear. I can't believe that she stayed with the analysis because she was so afraid. But let's talk about this Thursday night game for a second. I think that the most balanced team in the league is Seattle. The ability to stay with the Rams, even though they had that amount of turnovers, I thought was a credit to them. But of course, if I'm looking at both those teams, I'm going to take Stafford over Darnold, as is everyone who's listening to this. So no one's going to favor Seattle over the course of the rest of the season over the Rams, correct?
Yeah. I think that the jury's still out on whether or not Sam Darnold can deal with a high pressure game. No one feels good about him yet because they want to see it, right? Until we see it. Now, do I think what he's done this year in Seattle has been remarkable? And at times there have been people around the league who think he's doing a better job for the Seahawks than he actually did in Minnesota, where they won a bunch of games last year. Look, I think the teams that are running the ball well right now are the teams that are finding victory, and they've done a really good job this year, Seattle, of running the ball. In terms of what they've done collectively, right, Seattle just taking a step back and looking at them, I think what John Schneider has done is easily executive of the year type of work, right? Just from the way they've built this, moving on from Russell Wilson, which I know feels like, a million years ago, but they had to make that decision, moving on from Pete Carroll, bringing in Mike McDonald, who has been tremendous, definitely in the running for Coach of the Year if he continues to win this season. So, yeah, I think the Seattle Seahawks give the Rams probably the biggest challenge in the NFC without a doubt.
You mentioned Pete Carroll. You think he regrets the decision to go there? Because he's not going to dig his way out of there. They are doomed because they can't fix their quarterback situation.
It is a tough place to be right now. And whenever I watch the Raiders and you see Max Crosby do something incredible like he always does, all I think about is this man's legacy, right? Like, what is Max Crosby's legacy going to be if he stays with the Raiders? Because if he was on a team right now that was in contention and competing, imagine if he was with the Rams, if he was with Seattle, if he was with the Patriots or the Bills, look at Myles Garrett as well. Look, I think for Las Vegas, Tom Brady's had a lot of say over what they've done. And I've seen people, I think Stephen A was talking about it yesterday, like Tom Brady needs to get control over this team and call the shots. Tom Brady's not there. Like, he's physically not in the building. But there's eyes and ears on the ground reporting back to him all the time while he's doing all these different jobs. So it's almost like he's got too many jobs to grab hold of what Vegas needs, which is what I agree with from Stephen A's perspective of weigh in on what you know and what you think could help this organization, because obviously the way they've done it hasn't been good. So Pete Carroll, look, obviously everyone's looking to see if whether or not Mark Davis keeps him. But that's definitely a place where I'm hearing people around the league wonder if he's going to survive this year because they can't get the quarterback position right.
Diana, what is going on with Joe Burrow?
Okay. So I think everyone freaked out a bit last week, and rightfully so, because Joe just was very open, right? I thought that was a very vulnerable moment for him before this last weekend's game, where he was essentially just talking about how he's not having any fun, right? And I think we freak out because you hear that and you go, oh my God, like, is this going to be Andrew Luck, right? Like, or what is he dealing with something serious? We obviously don't ever want to make light of it. So, I did a little digging on it and just talk. First of all, Joe Burrow is very private. We'll begin with that. Like, no one's calling Joe Burrow and being like, so what's up, man? He barely answers his phone. He barely texts back. In fact, people I talked to that are close to him shared that. They're like, here's why I know Joe Burrow's okay. Ever since he came back from his injury, he's been communicating with people more. When he was recovering from the turf toe surgery, he blocked the world out and was just focused on getting back. He had the surgery. His foot was in a cast. He wanted to get back so badly for that Thanksgiving game. He cut the cast off himself. Like, just think about how crazy that is to just not wait for the doctor to do it. You do it yourself because you want to get to rehabbing as quick as possible. And someone that's been around him for years said to me, he's a serial killer. That is how badly he wants to do this. He is a maniac about winning. And so if you ask me what's going on with Joe Burrow, it's this kid is sick of losing. He's sick of the way he's losing, and now he's annoyed with himself because he's part of the reason why they're not winning.
I was mentioning yesterday that because the Bengals have been cheap and a laughingstock the entirety of my lifetime, that I don't think people understand what a dreadful commute it is to just walk into that facility. Just the sadness and the cold of the cheapness of that facility. The place where in football that is as cheap as that feels as cold as that, if you're losing and going into the locker room is blank.
I mean, Cleveland? The problem is I went superficial. Like I was actually thinking about the facility, right? Like the Jets
No, but that's what I'm doing too. I'm saying,
you're asking me like who's got a dumpy place?
I'm saying he's going to work every day and he realizes that he's surrounded by the minor leagues, that the only reason they're not minor league is because he's there.
Him. Yeah, no, it's a good point, and I do think that's part of some of his frustrations. He's seeing what other teams are doing, how they're operating, the type of staffs they have, the type of investment they're making into their football teams, and they're simply not doing that in Cincinnati. Now, he hasn't asked for a trade. He's not hinting at wanting out, from what I understand. But I think this is a mix of all of the things that I already went through and what you just pointed out. Because you're right, like you go through the league and we won't go through every single team, but it's really hard right now because so many teams have done a good job of upgrading. Even if they're losing franchises, they have good facilities, right? And they're trying to help their players behind the scenes by giving them the best training staffs, by giving them the best offseason programs to work with. So I think we could all kind of feel for him.
This is what I'm saying, Diana. He's a star, and when he's sitting in their shitty brown whirlpool because they're cheap, he's looking around like, this doesn't feel like stardom to me. This place is amateur, and it's been amateur long before I got there. Well, that's right, Mike. I made the water in the whirlpool brown.
How many times have you been there?
Yeah, Have you ever been to the Bengals facility?
Same thing, Jeremy. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, wait, like, has he been there?
How did I get it right then? How did I get it right?
Yeah, Jeremy.
I think you're just making
sorry. I thought that was Jeremy that said it.
Assumptions on Mike Brown, which are fair, but I don't know how bad I've never seen it.
Well, Diana can speak to it.
How about this, Dan? I'm going to name a team, and you tell me what you think their facility would be based on your experience and what you know. Okay, so the New York Giants.
I mean, is there facility in New Jersey? I think of everything in New Jersey as being browned.
Why do you have me on the show?
Brown whirlpool.
You have a very nice tan.
Look at her. I've hurt her feelings because she's New Jersey proud. Look at her. Look, I was born in Jersey City.
Here's the problem. It's all these people who think New Jersey is snooky. Like, and by the way, Snooki's been great for us. She gets such a tough rap. Like, she's been great. She's embraced what we are. She's like, this is who I am. Not a lot of people are like that. Maybe I should be JWoww.
The thing I was saying yesterday is that the football of Sunday, everybody was talking about Bills and Patriots when there were two better teams, I thought, playing in Rams and Lions. So Vrabel comes out after the game and says that was a learning experience. What the hell did they learn?
By the way, the Giants facility is lovely. The New England Patriots facility is okay. They're getting a new one.
Top 5 and bottom 5?
They'd probably be bottom 5 now because they're remodeling. By the way, that doesn't look great for the Giants facility. It's better inside. It's nice. They've got a great. It's
like an elementary school.
It's newer. The Jets one is unbelievable. That's a really nice one. Look, I think New England has very good self-awareness, which is why this entire season you never heard them saying the way teams like the Broncos, for example, have said, like, we're going to the Super Bowl. What New England has done, I think, has maybe even surprised some of them. I don't think they expected to be this good so quickly. So when you hear the team, even Stephon Diggs talking about it post-game, like, this was good for us. Losing's never good. Nobody wants to lose, right? Especially guys as competitive as that group. But I think it magnifies the mistakes, the errors, and the weaknesses that have been covered up a lot by really good quarterback play. So what do we see against the Bills? We saw a defense that doesn't pressure very well. We saw a quarterback that didn't play very well. We saw the other quarterback come in and play like the MVP. And I think it was a nice reset of, okay, this is where we are not very good, and we need to fix it now if we want to actually make a deep run in the playoffs here. Because so far we've been good. We've won, 11 straight, 10 straight. But I think for New England, first of all, for Mike Vrabel, he doesn't want to be the lead dog. That's not his personality. He likes being the underdog. Remember with that Titans team when they went to the AFC Championship game and they knocked out the Patriots and Tom Brady at Gillette? They love being underestimated. So I actually think that's probably what he means. Like, he prefers to be coming from behind.
She will be part of Netflix's NFL Christmas Day doubleheader. How is your husband dealing with the fact that he's throwing the Christmas party and you're not going to be there? Is he equipped to do all of this? Is he fine?
Oh, yeah, he's great. Eagles aren't playing that day, so that's good. It's my family that has the issue with it. They think it's weird. Like, Greg, do you think it's weird that my husband is hosting 25 people on Christmas Day in our home and I'm not here?
Being honest, absolutely. Because I would be terrified. If it were my situation, I lean so heavily on my wife.
Lean back.
To do everything, to organize everything, to be the glue of everything, that I would be absolutely
to do
terrified.
everything competently because you're a toddler.
Pretty much, yeah. So
Yeah.
God bless your husband, man. I couldn't do that. No, couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Being honest.
Yeah, no, I think it's, look, put it this way. My siblings have yet to say, like, this is really nice. Like, please tell Kevin thank you. And, we're grateful. Let us know how we can help. No one has said that. I have like a sibling group chat that the partners are not on. And they're all in there like, or my siblings are like, this is weird. We don't want to come over. You're not there.
It is weird.
Why is he hosting? And what they don't understand and why I need their help here is I am trying to distract Kevin from the fact that I am not going to be there for Christmas and we have a family. That I am choosing football over that. And my siblings are they're not doing their jobs right now. They're exposing me by repeatedly being like, this is strange. Why don't we just go to a restaurant or, one of them host it? So Kevin can do it. I'm not worried about it. I just don't know how this is going to shake out when I get back.
Have you caught up on your Marcus Freeman reporting? I know that Mike has been doing a good amount of reporting about Marcus Freeman, and I was mentioning yesterday that outside of winning a championship, nothing could have happened better for Marcus Freeman's agent than what did happen to Notre Dame. Because now
true.
Now he doesn't have to prove anything the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think it's early. I think there's interest. Mike, I didn't know you were or is Mike even in today? I don't know if he's in.
He's an insider, Diana. He's an insider.
Mike, if you want to do this, you got to do it every day. That's the key here. You can't just swoop in. It's got to be the everyday grind. Like right now, like
swoop in.
Yeah, I'm actually projecting. I am very jealous that you can just swoop in and be like, "Hey, I got a huge story," and you're right. We'll see. I think the New York Giants are definitely serious about interviewing him and meeting with him and seeing if he's a true, real candidate for them as they're putting together their list at the moment. And I think there's going to be other teams. I think there's going to be other NFL teams who have their eye and are watching to see how it plays out. Teams that even have a coach right now.
An early and premature Merry Christmas, because I don't think we're going to see you again before you do that Netflix game. Thank you for the year. It has been delightful to watch and listen to you. Senior NFL insider for The Athletic and the host of the Scoop City podcast. Nice seeing you. Thank you for putting on that birthday hat for me as well. I do appreciate it.
Happy birthday. If there's one thing that I would love to give you, we've talked about Mikey and Joey on the show a lot. For your birthday, I would like to hand them over to you for a weekend. I think it'd be good for you.
Oh, I would.
To who? To Dan?
To Dan?
Yeah, it would be good for Dan.
I'm good with kids.
He picks them up and puts them upside down.
Dan, let's be honest.
I'm good with kids. I'm good at renting, not owning. I give them back. Thank you.
Put them outside.
Thank you, Diana. I appreciate it. We appreciate it, I would say.
Can I admit something? I was trying to feed Diana that Marcus Freeman story a week early to totally derail Notre Dame's college football playoff chances. No, this is another thing that the committee has to take into account.
Did she ignore you? Because
no, she just had to do her own reporting. That's how, and she did. And a week later, the Marcus Freeman thing happened. And thankfully, Notre Dame didn't make the CFP. But that was absolutely me trying to sabotage Notre Dame's chances, because I could say something and it doesn't really carry the weight that it does with Diana. She's reputable, even though I broke a lot of stories in my day.
Well, she just said you can't swoop in and out,
That's
and
my thing.
you actually rebutted what she was saying by saying, "But I can, I have."
That's kind of my whole deal.
I do. I just sweep in and out as an insider, and then get out and don't actually have to do the daily grunt work. I wanted to circle back around on what happened at the Heisman around the Heisman weekend, because. Among the greatest controversies, it's silly to think about now, but among the greatest controversies that I've seen that are Heisman related around the ceremony is that one year Randy Moss showed up at the Heisman ceremony and dared to wear sunglasses indoors. This is a stuffy downtown athletic club. Everything around what they do there is from a different time.
But that's also from a different time. Like they have you seen the stage? The production value on this thing's incredible. It looks like it's Star Wars now.
It is a great. Well, I drove by the downtown athletic club. It's an old, musty thing. It's been modernized, yes, but the ceremony itself, the idea of Saturday night TV show to name at a banquet type proceeding the best player in what used to be amateurism, it doesn't come with a great many controversies, but it is stuffier when it comes to sort of how we represent sportsmanship than most of the sports institutions we have remaining. To see Diego Pavia behave that way around that weekend was a punkishness that you just don't see around what it is that thing is supposed to be. It's not just what he said about the voters. It's not just that he was at a nightclub rolling with his friends and saying, bleep the voters.
The last time the Heisman was handed out at the Downtown Athletic Club was 25 years ago.
Oh, so I drove past the Downtown Athletic Club and Ricky was there, and so I assumed that's where it was. Where is it now?
Maybe that's where it's housed, but like the ceremony, like for television, been 2.5 decades since they've done that on TV.
Did you guys know that? I didn't know that.
I think it initially changed. Might have been like around 9/11, and then they just found a better place.
Yeah, when you said the Downtown Athletic Club, it's a fairly small
Yes, it's
facility.
tiny. Yes.
And so I was thinking to myself, do they still do it there? Like, that didn't sound right to me.
Speaking to the mic.
It's not right.
But I didn't know it had been 25 years.
Speaking of 25 years, I just saw on the television here, parenthetically, they put on the scroll, they said Dolphins eliminated from the playoffs, and then in the parentheses, and these parentheses hurt, haven't won a playoff game since 2000.
Yeah.
Unnecessary.
Longest streak in the NFL.
Lamar Smith game.
I was there.
The way Pavia behaved around the weekend, that he has since apologized for, saying that, look at what he's saying.
Apologized for. He wrote a book.
Yeah, he did, but he apologized for wanting to win everything, coming in second place, and then being a poor sport. You hammered him pretty good yesterday.
Well, first of all, his agent did a good job writing that for him. Classless, clueless, somebody before, knowing his personality, somebody beforehand, his coach, his agent, his parent, should have said to him, tone it down, okay? Tone it down. Be classy. Don't be the person that you've been off the field and even on the field. Don't be that guy. Be a little bit different right now because everybody's watching you. And he just embarrassed himself in his school. You rarely see that kind of behavior, that classlessness on a stage that big.
I think he might have gotten support if it just ended at bleep the voters. People could just kind of say, I guess that's Diego Pavia, and the media is not very well liked. Even though those voters did make you a Heisman runner-up, it is an honor to go to that ceremony. It's a whole week dedicated to you. It's a really cool thing. You're surrounded by some of the all-time greats.
Right.
Some people would be grateful for that. But then to go to the club and have a bottle sign come out that says bleep Indiana and take what seems like a personal shot at Mendoza that way is also really poor form. Again, you're with these guys for several days doing media together, and then Mendoza beats you out, and your very first reaction is bleep that guy. Like that's not cool. And when you juxtapose that with how classy Mendoza came off in his speech, it just solidifies to every voter that took part in that process. Like, I guess we made the right call there.
And wasn't there anybody in his circle telling him, no, you know
Clearly
what?
no.
Don't put up
Theo
that
Vaughn.
I mean, don't
You
put
got-
up
you
that
got Theo
sign.
Vaughn.
I mean,
Don't
to your
say that.
point, Dad, they clearly got to him. He put out that statement. Like, they got to
Well,
him.
let me read it.
eventually,
let
after
me,
the
let me
fact.
read the statement here and see if we bring in professional sincerity questioner Zaslow in to have an opinion on what he wrote on X. Being a part of the Heisman ceremony last night as a finalist was such an honor. As a competitor, just like in everything I do, I wanted to win. To be so close to my dream and come up short was painful. I didn't handle those emotions well at all and did not represent myself the way I wanted to. I have much love and respect for the Heisman voters and the selection process, and I apologize for being disrespectful. It was a mistake, and I'm sorry. Fernando Mendoza is an elite competitor and a deserving winner of the award. I have nothing but respect for his accomplishments as well as the success that Jeremiah and Julian had this season. I've been doubted my whole life. Every step of my journey, I've had to break down doors and fight for myself because I've learned that nothing would be handed to me. My family has always been in my corner, and my teammates, coaches, and staff have my six.
That's his back.
Yeah. There's no question mark there for the audio listener.
Okay,
Have
because
my
the
what?
six
You never
is
heard
on
"Have
the-
My Six," Dan?
No, I have not
I
heard
haven't
that.
You've never heard you got my six?
It's all right. Just keep it moving.
What does that mean?
I love them. I am grateful for them, and I wouldn't want anything to distract from that. I'm actually distracted by the last two words in this statement. I look forward to competing in front of my family and with my team one more time in the Relia Quest Bowl.
Military term.
Yeah, watch your back.
How about
Reliant.
that? Playing in the bowl, huh?
Watch your back. Jack.
Just
Watch my
remember,
six.
remember what Travis Hunter's girlfriend got during the last Heisman ceremony? She wasn't a finalist. She wasn't a Heisman runner-up. Keep the same energy because it was pretty embarrassing behavior. And that statement kind of lends itself to him kind of feeling it a little bit because it was an embarrassing way to go about it.
Yeah, he's doing some making up now and some repairing of the bridges he's burning and all, but he's forever going to be the guy who put the ass in class. Like, you can't say what he said and do what he said and then just say, oh, no, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. What a deserving winner. Nope, too late.
Well, see that's the part that I want to come in because I don't buy the whole, that wasn't me. That's not the kind of person I am. Like that was what Dan just read. And that's bullshit because his entire night, like it wasn't a moment of, oh, I shouldn't have said that, I shouldn't have done it. Like for instance, Bijan Robinson, remember on Thursday night he was on the set with the Prime game and he said, tackle the bad word and people got offended. And it's like, that's a moment where it's like, I shouldn't have said that. That was kind of stupid. That's not who I am. Okay. Diego Pavia spent the entire night showing everyone, no, this is what I am. This is what I do. His entire night was geared around being an asshole.
Put it on the poll. Did Diego Pavia, as Cody alleged, forever put the ass in class? I'm curious about this. If Indiana had simply lost to Ohio State by 3 points, is Pavia the Heisman Trophy winner?
I'd suggest it that winning the Big Ten greatly helped his odds. I think he was minus 130 headed into that, and by the end of the game, he was minus 1,000.
Yeah, it felt like that game was
totally.
for the Heisman.
Yep.
Those Mendoza are saying.
That's pretty interesting, though, when you think about the fact that while the quarterback did sort of win that game, it wasn't exactly offense that won that game. So it's basically we're giving the trophy. Hey, your team went undefeated. We can't explain it. Here, you have it. And he had 22 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in the red zone. So.
I mean, all the great arguments, even though Pavia was more dynamic offensively and that team depended more on him. Yeah. Look, Indiana was in the playoff last year. But I know it's impressive to say, look what he did with Vanderbilt. I know, like I said, they made the CFP last year, but Mendoza did this with Indiana. Mendoza won. He won the Big Ten.
Number one team in the country.
They're undefeated. He won at Eugene. And he had moments on television with Gus Johnson having an aneurysm on the air.
Terrible call.
Una embolia.
He had moments. Pavia, it was more like a season-long thing in accumulation. Like, he didn't have these signature moments. Like, his best wins against Mizzou, and LSU was ranked at the time. But, like, Tennessee and Mizzou, we already poked a bunch of holes in their resumes. They didn't beat combined a team over 500 in the FBS.
I do.
Or a team with a win over a 500 team in the FBS.
Dan, you never heard the 6, huh?
No.
You never heard it, got my 6? So in military terms, you think about your body as the clock, right? So you're looking ahead, that's 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, right directly, next to you. 6 behind you, 9 to the left, and then 11 o'clock. So that's why when you're looking at something, hey, 11 o'clock over here, took a look. And then you look at 11 o'clock, bam, it's right there. Like, I'm looking at Roy, 11 o'clock for me.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Have you ever heard of the back being referred to as your 6?
Just always hated when people say that. Oh, you see that person over here? 12, I know 12 o'clock.
What person?
12 o'clock's always easy, but after that, it's like, get out of here with that.
You don't know the clock?
Don't tell me 2:30, okay?
No one says there's someone out my 2:30.
Nah, people have said it to me.
Yeah, they do that.
Yep.
Yeah, when there's
Thanks,
a
Greg.
horizon involved in particular. Like if you're out on a boat and I say, look at that guy at
No one does
115
that.
over there.
Horizon.
I'm 13.
Look, there's a trout at my 537.
Zero interest in the microphone today, for whatever
What are you
reason.
talking about? I'm eating the microphone.
Now you are.
What are you talking about?
There are a number of things that, as I celebrate aging today, a number of things that I've brought up here as things that are going to disappear or have disappeared. Cash is something that is disappearing. People are using cards more. I would say cursive handwriting is gone.
Pointless.
But the ability to tell time, is that now gone? Like
Torched, Dan.
to look at a clock, a young person looking at a clock.
Really?
It's always digital now, correct? Like
Yeah.
we are raising a generation of kids who will not know how to tell time.
My daughter
correct?
has an old-fashioned clock in her, so my daughter's teacher is teaching them the old-fashioned way.
That's great.
Yeah, Claire's teacher is also teaching, like, they have the analog clock on a worksheet, and that's how they figure out how to.
But that's going to be like cursive was for like me at my age, where it's like I learned it in the 3rd grade.
Right, they're not going to use it.
Yeah, by like 6th or 7th grade, it was done. Like once you get to middle school and they're no longer teaching you how to read that, like you will never have to use it ever again.
Dan, you know about that military time?
Yeah, we were just.
No, that's a different clock, Dan.
that's a
Military
different thing.
time
No,
and having your
that's
6 is a
that's
totally
military
different thing.
jargon
2,400
versus
hours.
military
Yeah.
time.
Yes, I know military time. What does that have to do with what we're talking
Military time's
about?
tough, not going to lie.
What is military time, Dan?
It's 1,200 hours, 1,300 hours, 1,400 hours. It's what?
1623 is what time?
1 o'clock is 1,300 hours.
1623 is what time?
1 p.m. 1623 is 4:23 p.m.
Okay.
Flexing
I
on
know,
us.
yeah.
This guy,
Dan.
this
Good
guy,
job, Dan.
he
Happy
will take a
birthday,
quiz.
Dan.
This guy can do math. He will take a quiz.
But
Like
you
a
notice
couple
he did,
people I know.
He did the move where like he said it out loud so we could have more time to think.
Yeah.
That's a move.
And with a bored sound in his
What
voice. Like, I know, come on. I know.
423.
He didn't know.
He said it.
Somebody fed him the info. Come on. We all know it.
You got Lewis doing math back there?
I think
Wow,
so.
shot at Lewis there.
Do you have
Not
sparkles?
a shot at Lewis.
Sparkles on your face? Where did you get sparkles on your face from? You have under your lip some sparkles.
I know where you can get sparkles on your face.
Where did that happen?
I gotta do that to my man.
So you guys are telling me that
don't do
kids
that.
today, if I put a clock in front of them, the majority of kids will or won't know. If I go under 10 years old and I put a clock in a 9-year-old kid and I put a clock in front of a 9-year-old kid, the majority do or don't know how to tell time on something that's not a digital clock. Put it on the poll, please, Juju, at Le Batard Show. Average 9-year-old kid can or can't tell time without the help of a digital aid.
2008 is what time?
It's 8:08 p.m.
Okay.
Oh, wait, we're going to keep doing this?
Yeah,
You're going to
good
keep
guess.
questioning me on
2009.
Yeah, you stumped me on that one. That one's too hard. Can you explain whether you have any shame whatsoever about the fact that everyone has to keep telling you to talk into the microphone as a professional broadcaster?
You know what?
professional,
I'm a
loosely.
casual man, Dan. I'm a casual man. You know, when in my real life, when I'm speaking to somebody, I'm not used to like leaning in and emphasizing my point. I'm a laid back guy. I'm going like this. You know, well, what do you think? I'm having a convo
We're on
here.
a show.
I'm having a conversation here. Okay, I'm welcoming the listeners into my circle, my
But Greg,
domain.
you can lean back and then just take the mic with you.
I know, but like you can hear me right now.
Not really.
Now
No.
pull it a little
Much
closer
less
to you.
quality.
How about right now? That kind of thing. Okay. Yeah. There you go.
What?
Okay.
You want to try to keep a uniform level for your listeners.
Okay. I'm wearing a uniform.
Greg, they fed you a line. You're not supposed to say yes and then not give us the line. Like
Professional.
somebody. Oh,
That's
fuck.
a good point.
Celebrates the legacy of Norm Macdonald. Rest in power.
Norm Macdonald passed away. It was a surprise to many. He had kept his illness a secret for 9 years. And he was one of our favorite celebrity prognosticators because he did awkward comedy, uncomfortable comedy so very well. He would insult people to their face. There has not been and will never be a greater ESPYs than Norm Macdonald doing the monologue and actually cutting through all the mythological fame bullshit and actually going after people, going after the big, powerful celebrities in a way that the audience loved and ESPN immediately ended and regretted and got him out of there, never to host it again. But he loved awkward. He was so good at awkward. And this is the thing that always impresses me, Stugotz, because the level of discerning among stand-up comics who are great is the highest form of critique or judgment, I think, in entertainment. And when they say someone's a good comedian, that person's a good comedian. When Norm Macdonald is somebody who's getting reverence today from a lot of people, but other comedians will tell you what he did was really brilliant, was genius. We had our experience with him because he would tell these long, sprawling stories, and he told, most famously, a bad beat story that was just a killer because he was a gambler, but he was a bad gambler. And one of the reasons we wanted him as celebrity prognosticator is because he cared about it, but he was kind of a loser. And what says loser more than this bad beat?
One time I had a massive bet down. It was my last bet. I just said, I'll just bet all this. And then I got 2 aces. And and then I was like, I don't know if I have enough money, but can I get some credit, like from the casino to bet on this other ace? And they're like, no. And I'm like, does anyone else want to buy an ace? No, but everyone else there was betting small.
You were at a $5 table.
No, I don't like the. What the hell? I'm watching the draft.
What? Nor what?
I was just watching the draft.
Okay. All right.
So, anyways, my 2 aces. I go, hit me. I have 2. You know what I mean? So I have to hit. So I have an ace and an ace. It's a 2. So I hit it.
Oh, no.
Because you couldn't split it. Here come the face
12.
Here come
22.
Oh.
So as obviously I would have had 2 21s. Instead I have 1 22.
Mike, I'm pretty sure I have this right. It was not draft day. It was like 6 months after the draft. Norm was doing that as an audio joke. Do you have a date on when that sound was from?
It was also in the morning. I mean,
he was watching an old draft on one of the sport-dedicated channels, either NBA TV or NFL Network.
I think he put it up as a prop. I think because he was on a sports show, he just wanted the interruption, the loudness, because he loved awkward so much. We talked to him about the ESPYs. I'm telling you, there's never been a crueler or cooler monologue than the one this guy did at the ESPYs because of how uncomfortable he made an assortment of people.
who was most upset with you after that night?
Ken Griffey Jr.
Really?
Did he say something?
Yeah, they told me, like after the show, they were, there's this big party, and they were always like, all through the show, this party's going to be great. And then at the end, I go, where's that party? And they're like, I probably should just go back to the hotel.
That's how you learned that you were not invited to Ken Griffey Jr.'s party?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you remember most about that night? Is there one joke that you're particularly proud of? And you tend to be someone who doesn't, you don't do a lot of reveling in the past. You move on. But is there anything in particular that you are proud of there?
Well, Woodson won the Heisman that year.
It's a good joke.
And so I said, they can never take that away from you unless you kill your wife on a waiter.
It's so good, man. It's such a good joke. It really is. Stugotz, I was laughing because a lot of people were sending out video. He's funny across the decades. The bit that he did on Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, 10 days after his death, like walking the tightrope of too soon, but he did the joke so deftly, so well. He's like, imagine that. He died. Crocodile hunter. Killed by a fish. All the other crocodiles super mad. Like, did it deftly. I'm not doing it justice. The idea that he would be 10 days after someone's death. It was a beloved time.
Yes.
Everybody was still mourning that death, and he was able to do that.
Next up, TLS favorite Brad Williams.
Now, Dan, imagine what you just experienced being a 6-foot whatever man. Now put that in a 4-foot man as I'm trying to cross the street last night, looking at certain puddles going, this could be it. This could be where I go. Because the water was moving very fast. I forgot my floaties. I can't swim. I have a very large head that sinks. I have a very fat butt that floats. That's not good for swimming. I'm very nervous. Florida is not a good climate for me.
He instantly goes upside down.
I do. I turn into a fly girl in a club, just face down, ass up. Like, that's me. Instantly in a puddle. Here lies Brad, killed by puddle. That could happen.
Brad Williams makes me laugh all the time, but rarely as much as when he's greeting Mike Golick and they are doing that shoulder handshake, and Mike Golick has to get down and Brad Williams has to climb up. Why didn't you just go in for a straight handshake to say hello?
Because then I nut tap him. Because if I go straight handshake, there's the possibility. And by the way, how much, Gojo, were you just holding back? You're like, if I go full shoulder into this guy, he may evaporate into Skittles.
I was more thinking on if I went to pull in, because we went the dap with the hug.
Yeah.
And so there's that pull in the middle, and I was like,
On today's episode of the Alley Oop, is Wemby already the most impactful player in the NBA, Juju?
Right, I don't know. I think he is not named Steph Curry, if you know what I mean. We're going to talk about my boy as well. And if you hating on the in-season tournament, we got 2 words for you. Lock in.
Welcome to another episode of Insights to Mediocrity. I'm Jeremy Taché, here with our expert, our superstar, Tony Kaladiu.
Good to be here, Jeremy.
What do you think about the salaries of today's NBA? Given the salary cap, the collective bargaining agreement, how do you feel about the way that salaries have exploded for the max player in the NBA?
I love it. Go get your money, right? Like when we were growing up, it felt like guys were making all these millions of dollars, but it didn't really feel like, oh, wow, it's this level. But now you see the SGAs of the world. You see the Jason Tatums, the Jaylen Browns of the world, where they're making $280 and some change, $300 million. And you're like, okay, perfect. Selfishly, it's like, hey, could I have hung around somewhere and made a couple of scratch here and there? Like, I felt like I should have and could have and possibly would have. if it weren't for a couple injuries and a couple of politics. I think it was the politics more than anything than the injuries.
Of course.
Because I was also in this weird transition of time between I was a little too small and slow to be a big, and then I wasn't fast enough to be a guard. So I was in
Derek
this
Williams,
tweener.
if you will. A tweener, a Michael Beasley
Mhm.
of your day. That's what they say.
Exactly.
He was a bucket, and 10-Day Tony, he's a bucket.
Thank you.
Of course. Do you ever feel sorry for your opponent?
No, because it's a mutual respect. They know what we're going into. We're gladiators. We're getting onto the floor. The times where I come home and my ankle hurts and my daughter's crying at 3 a.m. and I have to get up and change her diaper and my ankle's hurting, that's not something that I get, money for.
It's a sacrifice people don't see behind the scenes, right?
Thank you. So I'm going in with the appreciation and the gratitude of the man across from me, knowing that he's got work in tomorrow too. He's got to go home with a bad hamstring and then work an office job that he hates. So I put the respect on the game for my fellow man across from me, saying, I know what you pay to be here. You know what I pay to be here. Let's have some fun. So I don't feel bad for my opponents ever. I respect my opponents.
Too long. The Steelers have won 8+ games, 22 straight seasons, and I legitimately think that one of the most amazing stats in sports is that since the merger, the Steelers have had 3 coaches. Since 1969, the Pittsburgh Steelers have had 3 coaches. The Phoenix Suns have had that in the last 24 months. It's just nuts when you think of the consistency of that franchise. We were talking earlier, this is partly because the Browns and Bengals are so cheap, that you've been able to play in a division where you're stable and nothing around you is stable, so you get to win it all the time. But are you guys numb to the fact that the Steelers in 50 years have had 3 coaches?
I suppose. I mean, it's not like they're any kind of threat. They're not going to do anything. Like, they're probably going to win the division because they're 1 up with 3 to play, and they played the Ravens the final game of the season, which will probably be for the division. Steelers already beat them earlier in the year, but no one's afraid of this Steeler team. I don't know. They kind of feel like a nothing.
But wait a minute, though. Okay, if the standard is you win the championship or you're irrelevant, yes. If second place is just the first loser, yes. But, man, you are hardened and cynical if I'm giving you 22 straight seasons of 8+ wins, and I just told you 3 coaches since 1969. That's crazy stability.
Tomlin and Cowher have never lost a home Monday night game.
Yeah, no, that's the streak that's crazy. 23 in a row, I think it is now.
Mine wasn't. My 3 coaches since 1969 is not crazy. Yours is crazy.
No, it's less surprising because we sort of knew that, I mean, come on. But
when's the last time someone mentioned Chuck Noll?
Yeah, that's Tannehill's a receiver.
But Dan,
no, Chuck Noll, that's back in the Shula era. I mean,
stay
everybody
in
knows
front
that.
of the microphone,
Okay,
Greg.
no,
Please,
I'm right in front of the mic.
God.
But here's the point. The standard in Pittsburgh is so high that for the first time a couple of weeks ago, Tomlin is all of a sudden getting you're distracting me. Tomlin,
I'm just trying to put the microphone closer to your mouth.
Tomlin all of a sudden is getting hectored. He's like, people want his job, okay? And so it's been a minute since he's won a playoff game. Like he didn't. His Teflon is wearing.
The Dolphins haven't won one since 2000. Give me all the Dolphin coaches.
That's the anomaly, though. That's
give me all the coaches the Dolphins have had just since 2000, please. Give me the names and just give me
interims too.
The list of all the coaches.
I was a big Jim Bates guy.
The Dolphins have
you
had
do like who didn't start the
2000.
fire?
Sperano, Dan Campbell, Ken Cameron, Saban, Adam Gase.
You guys are awfully hard,
That's my
though,
gimmick.
if you're not impressed by stability. Like, the noise is so loud around all of the pressure in football. For you to shrug your shoulders at they always have winning seasons as if it doesn't matter, like, okay.
It matters, but look where they're at right now. And Zaz is right. They're not a threat to win a Super Bowl.
They haven't been a threat for at least 10 years.
And they're recycling a 42-year-old quarterback. I mean,
Everyone in the
what's next?
AFC wants to play Pittsburgh in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, I agree.
Starting in 2000, Wanstead, Jim Bates, Nick Saban, Cam Cameron, Tony Sperano, Todd Bowles, Joe Philbin, Dan Campbell,
Todd
Adam
Bowles.
Gase, Brian Flores, Mike McDaniel.
Philbin.
Bulls.
I do think that we're a bit unreasonable if you're not impressed by what Mike Tomlin has done in Pittsburgh with an assortment of different pieces. Like it's not just getting to have Tom Brady the entire time. I mean, he had Roethlisberger, but it's not what Mahomes. I understand that Mahomes and Brady are the standard, but you're basically saying that Baltimore also hasn't done a lot of winning. Baltimore hasn't done a lot of winning of the championship, but represent one of the most stable franchises that I've seen across sports over the last 25 years.
They won the Super Bowl at least like 10 years ago, right? It's not that long ago.
I think both these franchises have new coaches next season.
I agree.
You think that John Harbaugh is going to be out in Baltimore?
I think there's a better chance Harbaugh's out than Tomlin.
I hear things.
It'll both be mutual though. Like neither of them will be fired. It'll be they've parted ways.
You guys think John? I have not. Tomlin, I've heard hot seat about. I have not heard it about Harbaugh.
Do you remember
if he goes to the pros?
Do you remember before Lamar Jackson had started?
What do you mean if he goes to the pros?
If he goes to another team, I meant. In other words, he's not going. I don't think he's going to college football. I think he's.
People forget, like the Ravens and John Harbaugh did part ways. Like it was announced that they were going to separate at the end of the season, and then Lamar Jackson started playing really well.
I don't remember that.
Look it up. It was understood.
I believe you.
Yeah, it was
That's a Greg Cody
understood.
move.
John Harbaugh and the Ravens were going to part ways, and then Lamar Jackson caught lightning in a bottle, and they decided, hey, you know what? We'll run it back.
I believe that Mike Ryan was just fully ignoring you. That you said in the pros, and nobody understood what you meant, and then you doubled down with if he doesn't go to college, which I don't think anybody's talking about.
John Harbaugh takes a job
Mike
in the pros.
And Mike just ignored you.
Okay,
he ignored you the way you
Being
would
a good teammate.
There's a lot of Michigan people suggesting, hey, hire John Harbaugh.
The point is, if John Harbaugh leaves Baltimore, there's a million other, not a million.
He'll be for the NFL.
Yes, there's plenty of other jobs for him.
Same as Tomlin.
Same as Tomlin, right? Those guys, they're
If
great.
they decide to take jobs in the NFL, could get them.
But I will say this about Tomlin: let's not overestimate him. In almost 20 years in Pittsburgh, he's won one Super Bowl. You got to win more than one if you're going to rise to that level of elite
Greg,
all-time coach.
he's never had a losing season in
get
Pittsburgh.
That. Yeah, I get that.
Cowher only got one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
do you,
right.
for my birthday, do you have a back in my day?
No, hell no.
Wow.
No.
That was blunt.
Why is it hell?
More blunt than usual.
I mean,
He's become defiant with this.
Well-
He's like he's dug his flag into I can't do him anymore, and he's just not going to change.
mean, I'm trying to, in a nice way, give you the idea that maybe that bit has been retired, but yet every Tuesday you bring it up again, so it's getting a little frustrating, a
lot
little
of
nerve-wracking.
change around the show. It'd be really nice to have that nostalgia trip of back in my day. Nice little thread, legacy thread.
Legacy thread.
It is Tuesday. You didn't say it was retired. You just kept saying, well, it's not Tuesday. It's not Tuesday.
Yeah,
and now
that's
it's
a
Tuesday.
joke. Yeah, that's a joke. The it isn't Tuesday thing. It may make a comeback. You don't know. That's the beauty of life. You don't know.
What time is 22:11?
Take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game
That's
Time
not a
app.
military time. 20 to 11 is 20 to 11.
No, 22:11.
Oh, 22:11. I thought you were saying, I didn't think you were saying 10, 11
I didn't
PM.
realize that military time could get complicated.
I thought you were saying that it was 20 minutes to 11. You were saying,
I
Mike.
was saying if you want to watch one of these final games with Mike Tomlin's Steelers or John Harbaugh's Ravens, you might want to download the Game Time app because it takes the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets. Download that app. Redeem code DAN after you create an account and you get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DAN for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today.
So you don't know.
22:11 is it is 10:11 p.m.
Okay.
Are you going to keep doing that, though? Military
Maybe.
time? I want to know if the audience is with me on having heard it. Everyone here had heard having my back, having my six. That's an expression all of you had heard before. I was alone.
No, I hadn't heard it.
Where is the Heisman Trophy now? Where does the ceremony, where does it take place now?
Lincoln Plaza or something like that. Like it's a very impressive looking soundstage with that huge Heisman Trophy there. Like it looks great on television.
It's not Radio City?
I know you guys haven't watched it in 20 years, but it looks really impressive lately.
Chris, can you get me the sound, please, from the Anthony Joshua Jake Paul press conference? Has Jake Paul been more respectful this time than he usually is in the talking and the sales on the way to the fight? Because this is by leaps and bounds. I mean, there is a gulf of difference between everyone he's been fighting and the fight that he is now entering, because Anthony Joshua is a legitimate heavyweight. He's at something close to his prime, and they are talking up the fight to sell it because it's across the street this weekend, correct? It's this weekend across the street here, and I'm surprised that this has gotten to the date where it is. They are indeed going to do this fight. It doesn't appear like there's going to be a cancellation. I'm really stunned that Jake Paul is fighting this human being, because this is a legitimate heavyweight contender, champion contender. Let me hear what the back and forth is here between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul.
I've just seen in fights when I can see someone's, let's call it energy, frequency leaving their body. And that's what my goal is to do the same to you. You have that instinct. You can see it. When you're fighting, you can just see a small glimmer of someone that's just about to start fading. And then you just keep exploiting that, until some people give up. Some people get knocked out. We'll figure it out. But as I said, for me, it's not just going in there and being dominating physically. I want to break him down. Spiritually and mentally.
That's some deep boxing shit you just broke down.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, because it's funny because the pressure's on you. And, like, when I win the first round and the second round, and I think it's going to be you that starts to crumble because all the pressure's on you. I'm fighting free. The weight, there's no weight on my shoulders. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to prove anything. You have so much to prove. The whole boxing world's like, oh, here's 2 rounds or AJ sucks. The pressure's on you, brother.
You know what it is?
I'm free. Like, I already took over this whole game, did everything I want. I'm playing on house money, so I think it's going to be you that starts to be like, oh, fuck it. One round, two round, 3 round, and then
I live up to the expectation.
That's not exactly Jake Paul trash talking.
No, that's him kind of respecting him. And Jake Paul is right, but the part he's overlooking is how difficult it is to win those first and second rounds.
He sounded like Pat Narduzzi before Notre Dame. I'm going to go ahead and lay some more on Anthony.
I mean, how big a favorite is he? What are the betting odds on this fight? Because when I tell you that I'm legitimately stunned that all of this is happening, I just thought it was going to be circus sideshow and novelty and freak fights the rest of the way. This started with him fighting Nate Robinson, didn't it? Isn't that where it started, with him fighting a 5'9" basketball player?
According to DraftKings, Joshua minus 1,200, Jake Paul plus 700.
If he were to beat Anthony Joshua, I'd put it with the biggest upsets all time in sports. All time. I don't think that the people who have been following Jake Paul's career really have paid attention or know the mechanics of boxing, how lame all of his opponents have been compared to this opponent. I believe those numbers are too small. I believe even while saying that a heavyweight of any kind always has a puncher's chance, I believe those odds should be 3 and 4 times as large as they are. I don't understand. It must be people thinking that the thing is rigged, because anyone who knows anything about boxing would tell you that this is not a fight that Jake Paul has any kind of chance of winning. That Jake Paul comparatively is an amateur, and is an amateur with far less punching power.
And I think this is kind of what Ariel alluded to a couple weeks ago. Like, if Jake Paul competes, everyone's just going to think it's fixed, right? Like, can Jake Paul leave this fight and people legitimately think it's legit?
I really don't understand the fixing accusations.
Of just
not in boxing?
It's not
People
wrestling.
go to prison.
But people said that, like, with Mike Tyson, that Mike Tyson fight, like, he could have knocked him out, but he chose not to. Like,
people would go to prison, so everyone's
get pardoned immediately.
They're just making a pact where, all right, we won't say anything. It'll be our secret.
I'm with you. They probably aren't doing that. But a lot of the internet thinks if Jake Paul does anything but get knocked out here, the internet narrative is going to be the fix is in.
I don't think anyone's risking going to federal prison.
when you watch the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather fight, it's one of the biggest pay-per-views that there's been in boxing over the last 25 years. Could you tell that Mayweather was carrying McGregor around? You will know whether or not any of this is legitimate or whether there have been whispered agreements in the first couple of rounds. If Joshua's afraid of him, if he's not charging, if he's not throwing punches because he's so much bigger, stronger, and has such an incredible reach advantage over Jake Paul.
There's a difference, though, between Floyd Mayweather deciding, okay, I'm going to carry Conor McGregor, and people getting together before a fight and deciding the way shit's going to go down.
Okay, but we had one of the biggest pay-per-views ever was a sham because Mayweather was indeed carrying McGregor around. He's a defensive fighter. This is different, right? Because Joshua is an attacker. Joshua can also have a reach advantage over everyone he's fighting against and keep them at bay. But there will be no absence of punches thrown by Joshua unless there's an agreement.
You're also acting like there's just two bets to make in a boxing match. Several different ways to rig it.
We have total rounds. Over 2.5 is minus 135. Under 2.5 plus 100. I don't hate under. Get a little plus juice.
People will be tuning in to watch him be knocked out, right?
Yes, I hope so.
That Floyd Mayweather made great money for a very long time and is one of the great marketers of all time because people would tune in to watch him get knocked out and then nobody knocked him out. Like the way that he fought might have been aesthetically boring to some of you, but it is the point of fighting. Don't get hit. Hit and don't get hit, and that is what Floyd Mayweather mastered. He mastered the not getting hit part.
Well, Jake Paul has mastered the idea of developing this unlikable persona. At least that's the way I interpret it. And so I would pay big pay-per-view money to watch Jake Paul get his comeuppance.
What's big money?
What's a pay-per-view now?
You say that
$90.
Is it $100?
You say that while I guarantee you won't watch it.
I might.
Friday.
I might. When is it?
Friday.
I'm there.
I have a hard.
It's here.
Chicken thigh.
No, I'm not.
Let's
there.
get him. We'll get you a credential. Should we get him a credential?
I'm not literally there.
You get lost on the way to the studio. You don't know how to do it. You
Crimson
Diamond. You can't be a chicken if everyone else is a chicken. That's not what you're doing. That's not the way any of that works.
Sorry. I love being a chicken. No, in this, am I the? Everybody hates Jake Paul and wants him to lose.
I'm rooting for him. No, I'm rooting for him. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing the upset.
No,
I don't
I'm rooting
hate
for him.
Jake Paul. I don't like him, but
Okay.
I wouldn't say I hate
Maybe
him.
I'm alone. I'm alone on a lot of things.
Go on.
Apparently.
Name them.
You're lonely?
Tua and this.
Where is Tony setting up for his Tony's Top 5? Do we know the whereabouts of Tony? I want to get to some sound here that we have of Josh Hart before we go to Tony, of Josh Hart and a reporter teaming up on Jalen Brunson. The Knicks play for their first championship here tonight against the Spurs. Amin got it right when he said that OKC would not win the in-season tournament. You've got San Antonio playing the Knicks, and I believe over the last 25 years or so, the Knicks have over-celebrated winning a single game in the playoffs, winning a single round in the playoffs. This will be a point of pride for the New York Knicks to be able to beat San Antonio.
This is a funny clip from a press conference a couple days ago. This is a reporter asking Josh Hart about how unathletic and short Jalen Brunson is right in front of Jalen Brunson.
I'll ask you this because I think you would answer honestly. When you factor in his height and not the most athletic,
Jesus.
You've said it. You've said it.
You didn't have to say it, though.
How many guys in the NBA do you think score the basketball better than he does?
Probably not many. He's barely 6 foot guard.
This is your fault.
Not physically impressive. Not athletic, but he's able to manipulate. Defense. Obviously, big head, so he has a big brain. He's able to, figure out those angles and find himself in positions to be successful. So, inch for inch, I think he's probably the best one.
Those are legitimate friends, and you could see in the clip at the end that they're both holding their faces hidden behind their hands to keep from laughing, because Jalen Brunson the entire time sat there. You could see on his face, I'm sitting right here. You're talking about me as if I'm not right here. I'm sitting right next to you. The Knicks have their most beloved team since when? Because they didn't love the Carmelo Anthony teams. Like this is a team. The number of people I've heard say with Knicks fandom that they don't want to trade for Giannis because they've fallen in love with this team, and they want this team to win the championship when this team can't win the championship.
Yeah, I think probably the last team that went to the finals in '99. Spreewell, Marcus Camby, Larry Johnson. They definitely love those teams.
But wait a minute. Okay, look at what you said. Look at the names you just said. They may have loved that team. Nobody else loved that team. Latrell Sprewell and Larry Johnson. This team, a lot of people love because their best player is also the smallest player on the court every time he steps out there.
Yeah, they have a really lovable group. I mean, Zaz, you're talking about a time before the Dolphins won their last playoff game. That's how far back you have to go for a lovable Knicks team. But, Dan, I think you're right. Like, those Knicks fans, management should follow them. They should not offer anything for Giannis. Definitely. Make it good.
That's Chris just cutting you off, Jeremy. He didn't want to listen anymore.
You could have played Stop Talk.
I thought he was wrapping up. That one
You always think I'm
I didn't
wrapping
mean that one mean, honestly. Usually
Not
I do.
this time.
Where is Tony? Where can we find Tony? I need video of Tony. Somebody show me video, please, of Tony, so I'm not just listening to him. Ooh, look at that. Oh, my God. The country at large is so jealous. Look at that. It's winter in South Florida. Tony's on the water, and it's 74 degrees.
That is not
out
a green
there.
screen.
That is a real green, lovely water. I'm assuming there's not a sewage alert like there usually is around this time.
No sewage alert, Dano. The water I would actually characterize as emerald. I wouldn't say green. I would say emerald. A beautiful emerald water. We've got, obviously, the causeway going over here. We're actually on the bridge that goes to the port where you leave for the cruises. We've got Bayside and the pier over here with boats and stuff. So, yeah, this is not a green screen. This is the real deal. And if you want me to be really honest, guys, and this is just between me and you, and maybe you guys feel it too, it's kind of cold here in Miami today. It may be like 69, 70, 71, but there is a breeze. So I am a little bit cold. Estoy un poquito friolento because I can feel it. So I don't know if you guys feel it from over there, but I feel a little cold here.
Yeah, it's just like in Chicago off of the lake there where it's negative 20
Off the
degrees.
lake, yeah.
Just like that. Do you have any OLIs on your NFL weekend observations?
First, Dan, let me jump in and tell you Tony's Top 5 is presented by Smirnoff, the official vodka sponsor of the National Football League. Smirnoff, please drink responsibly. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York. Vodka, 40% alcohol by volume.
Let's go, Tony. What do you got?
Couple OLIs. We'll start first. 49ers frisky? Question mark? 49ers?
yeah,
Anybody? Can I
aren't-
sell you on the 49ers, please? Somebody?
Aren't they always frisky? Nobody's talking about the 49ers. Nobody.
Nobody's talking about him. Just keep an eye on him. All right, another OLI here. Have you seen Trey McBride's stats this season without Kyler Murray? Yeah,
He's been
on
the best
Sunday he
tight
had
end
12
in
catches for
football.
134 yards and 2 touchdowns, giving him 105 catches for the season, 1,071 yards, and 10 touchdowns. He's the first tight end in NFL history with 100-plus catches, 1,000-plus yards, and 10-plus touchdowns through 14 games. How many games has Kyler Murray played this year? Not that many. I'm just going to keep it real. All right, and just going to leave this one here. Duval County stand up 10-4. The Jags are alive cats, baby.
Was that number 5 or was that an OLI?
No, that's number 5. That's number 5. Duval County stand up 10-4. Keep an eye on them, baby. We are rolling. 904 stand up. Number 4. The Bills said, not so fast, my friend. The Pats thought they had it in the bag. Okay, they thought it was over. Then the unicorn, what do you call him, Dan? A unicorn, a centaur of some sort? What is Josh Allen? What do you call him?
Yeah, he's a centaur. He's got the body of a horse and the upper body of Josh Allen.
Right, exactly. So he said, not so fast, my friends. we'll keep the division over on this side in Western New York. Number 3, I want you guys to put a pin in this matchup for a potential Super Bowl, Rams-Broncos. Just put a little pin in that. We'll go to it later on this season. I like those two teams to come out of their respective conferences. Put a pin in that.
Is that a good Super Bowl? Do you guys want to see the Broncos in the Super Bowl? Does anybody want to see Bo Nix in the Super Bowl?
You hate on Bo Nix. I mean, he played really well against the Packers.
A lot of wins for that guy.
They're beating good teams. I understand why, because he's looked really bad at times, but you are not high on them. It's
I
clear.
asked you a question, though. Do you guys want to see Denver in the Super Bowl?
No, I want to see the Bills.
Yeah.
It's the only team I want to see.
The Centaur. Josh Allen.
I'd rather see the Chargers.
Half horse, half man.
One
that guy
team I
knows
wanna
how to
see
win.
If the Broncos win out, Bo Nix will have the most wins for a quarterback through their first 2 seasons ever. Ever. Wow. He's presently tied with Big Ben, Andrew Luck, and Dak Prescott.
I saw
for the
Sam
second
Darnold
most.
win 14 games for Minnesota. Okay?
He's going to win a lot of games for Seattle, too. And you like them to potentially go to the Super Bowl.
Go ahead, Tone.
Number 2, Phillip Rivers turning back the clock on his 5-year NFL healthcare benefits. Because turning back the clock would have been 300 yards and a couple scores. This is turning back the clock on his 5-year NFL healthcare benefits.
He's got a lot of kids.
We're on to you, Phillip.
Yeah, number
We're
1.
on to you. Number 1, Dan, in the biggest news of the NFL weekend and basically the NFL season, Patrick Mahomes tears his ACL. All right, Dylan Raiola, I'm sorry, buddy. You know what you got to do. That's the breaks, buddy.
What does he got to do?
You want to be?
He's got to
you
tear
want
his
to
ACL.
cosplay as Patrick Mahomes? You got to tear your ACL. Nothing I can do about it. You got to do it. Sorry.
Tony, thank you. It looks lovely out there. I'm sure that everyone that's watching this outside of Florida is jealous of what it is that you have surrounding you there. Thank you, sir.
Got to put on a hoodie out here.
Yeah, little nippy.
Nipply.
We didn't
Little
talk
nippy.
at all
Nipply.
about the Micah Parsons injury yesterday because it was the second of the most important injuries that happened over the weekend. Obviously, all things Mahomes engulf everything there. But the Packers are super fraudy this year. Like they
Weird.
seem like they're close, but they don't have the skill position help that Jordan Love needs. And Micah Parsons was a piece that was brought in order to win them the championship this year. It was a piece away, and they are not the same defense, same team, or same pass rush, obviously. I guess it's an obvious thing to say because I felt like you were laughing that Tony's Top 5 has a lot of obvious stuff in it. That's kind of the bit. But Micah Parsons, it goes without saying, Micah Parsons is obviously important to their pass rush, but numerically and empirically, they become a very pedestrian pass rush when it's not him doing the pass rush.
Absolutely. And everybody's talking about New England, Buffalo, but for me, Green Bay and Denver was the sneaky game of the week because those are two teams that a lot is expected from, but they both have question marks. And Denver winning that game was indicative of that. Without Micah Parsons, their defense is not ordinary, but much less good. And I don't think Green Bay is a team you think about anymore for the Super Bowl.
I feel like Detroit is so much better than Green Bay.
I think so,
Yet they're
too.
2 games behind them. Like they're a really long shot to catch them. I feel like they're so much better than the Packers.
They've been really hurt, though. Their secondary, Detroit's secondary, can be scored on because of how hurt they are in the secondary. I find some of the analysis around football a bit frustrating for a couple of reasons. One, the schedule is not often taken into account when doing measurements on how good or how bad someone is. But also, whatever your assessments were in week 4 are rendered moot by week 13 just because there are so many people who are damaged. Like it's just, it's damn near impossible for anybody to go through a season and be healthy. And when you look at what happened to the Detroit Lions in some of their games this year where they played poorly, they're really beat up. Like their offensive line and their secondaries are hurt in a way that they're playing random people out there, people who shouldn't be on a football field.
As someone that just likes watching the NFL, don't have a team, I was so looking forward to the NFC playoffs in particular. Micah Parsons is super fun to watch. I love the way that Green Bay uses him. He's moved all across the line. He was an all-in move, and it was an all-in move that was paying dividends. You looked at Green Bay, it was Toyota-thon, and you had their guys coming back, Jaden Reed and Christian Watson. They were starting to look a certain way, and that kind of, it feels like it nukes their championship odds and makes some of those games a little less interesting.
Okay, you saw the game last night, okay? You saw what limited quarterbacks were doing in terms of accentuating tight ends. Aaron Rodgers was throwing to 3 of them. You just mentioned Trey McBride as well. The best help that Jordan Love had was Tucker Kraft. That was, and after that it would have been Josh Jacobs. So when these people
and Dobbs like ascending, but their two top targets were injured, Watson and Reed.
When these people end up getting hurt, and Watson wasn't, Watson's coming back, but Watson's like a third receiver. You can't.
Watson came back, looked great from that knee injury, avoided a major injury. I know he went down, but he seems to be good to go this week.
You can't keep having these kinds of people injured. When Greg Cody corrected himself and said they're not an ordinary defense without Micah Parsons, yeah, they are. They're an ordinary defense that no one actually fears because they can't get the pass rush without Micah Parsons that they can with Micah Parsons. They traded for him as a last piece on we're going to win the Super Bowl. And what can you do about Jacobs and Tucker Kraft being out? It's going to limit your offense in a way that makes you lose to Carolina and Cleveland because you've got a great quarterback. We know that that's a great quarterback, but you can't keep having guys hurt that are important and not see the quarterback play slip.
I would argue that even without Micah Parsons, Green Bay's a better defense than, for example, Detroit. That's all. I mean,
healthy Detroit, I just know that when we were early in the season and everyone was healthy, Detroit's the only team I've seen that could combat what Philadelphia was doing on the line of scrimmage, both offensive line and defensive line.
Like, I know it looks like Kansas City's missing the playoffs. Baltimore might miss the playoffs. To me, the one team it's going to be annoying that would miss the playoffs that I would have wanted to see is Detroit. Like that's the most interesting team to me. Each of these seeds, I like Detroit being in the playoffs.
I get the storyline.
Yeah, I like their story.
You didn't want to see Mahomes try to do it on the road?
No, I don't care. No,
it's like it's an unfulfilling way for that whole thing to end. Yeah. I'd like to have seen Josh Allen try to smite them. I'd like to see a team take them out, a division team, and this is not satisfying.
When I give you guys these numbers, heading into Week 15, 320 players have suffered injuries severe enough to cost them multiple games. That means that the average football team, you guys tell me as I put this in front of you, okay, what your assessments would be Week 4 versus Week 14. The average football team is losing 10 players. 10 players to severe injuries. That's just your average football team. If I had to guess, Detroit's got more of that because the drop-off from Detroit, you could say, if you want to say it's Ben Johnson, I won't argue with you that much, but their secondary is ravaged. They've got a bunch of people out there playing when they're on their third or fourth guy in the secondary, and you're like, that's not a person who should be on an NFL field.
Not just that. The drop-off with Laporta and Ross Dwelly is cavernous.
What do you guys do with the analysis not mattering at all when you're making the analysis assuming a team is healthy and then it's unhealthy and we're not factoring in the unhealthy on Dan Campbell? What we're doing is, oh, look at Ben Johnson. Chicago's winning because they got 29 takeaways. They've got 29 takeaways, which I will continue to say is not recreatable. And the reason I say it's not recreatable, go look at what Denver did last year with turnovers, how good they were at turnovers, and how bad they are this year, even though they've got pass rush. They've got the best pass rush in the league, and they're not good somehow at turnovers this year as they were last year.
But they're better. Like, their defense is better even without forcing those turnovers because they can stifle an offense in a way that they don't need those turnovers. They can win the turnover battle because Bo Nix is not turning over the ball. He's, in terms of yards per attempt, I mean, not near the top echelon in terms of starters. He's only at 6.5 yards per attempt. But that's because Sean Payton has designed this offense to prevent turnovers because their defense can get after the quarterback in a way that's insane. Next Gen Stats had it. Broncos pressured Jordan Love on 52.2% of his dropbacks in Week 15. The highest pressure rate he's ever faced in any game of his career. They have a 40.5 pressure rate this season. That's crazy. That's historic level.
I understand why people doubt Bo Nix. I've seen it. There are games like the Raider game where you're like, does this guy suck? But then you look at what he's done over the last 2 years, and that would be somebody that we'd literally be catching our breath in terms of what an incredible start to a career. If you look at his numbers outside of yards per attempt, which isn't that far off, by the way, he's got Mahomes' numbers. Yeah. And yet everyone is doubting this guy.
I think part of that, though, is what Jeremy said. The defense is so good. If you told me it was going to be a Denver-Seattle Super Bowl, TV might hate that. America might hate that. It would be a great Super Bowl because those two defenses are elite. A lot of great defense in the NFL this season, which never gets enough attention because it's all about the quarterback. But great. Can you imagine a Denver-Seattle?
I don't want to imagine.
I do. I think it would be a great Super Bowl.
Going to be a great challenge to those defensive backs in Seattle because even with that yards per attempt being low, most touchdowns on 20-plus yard throws since 2024, it's Bo Nix with 18 of them. I don't know why we're not complimenting this guy more. Yeah, he's a winner. He could throw the ball. He could run. He's all the things Dan says Drake May is.
Stop talking.
Folks, listen up. Holiday basketball is here, and when stars like Kobe White, Jalen Williams, and Tyler Harris start cooking, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is where you want to be. DraftKings has your back with early exit. If your player goes down in the first half, you still get paid in cash. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code DAN. That's code DAN. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.